Good evening, Patriots, and welcome to the Raw Feed. I'm Gary Franchi, and tonight we are live with breaking coverage that's going to rock your world. If you're just joining us, you are witnessing history in the making as we're streaming live to millions worldwide across YouTube, Rumble, and X. Now listen up before we dive in. I need you to do something critical. Grab your phone and text this stream to 5 people that you trust. Why? Because big tech is trying to bury this coverage, but they can't stop what we are sharing. Direct sharing, specifically. We're bypassing their algorithms together. And speaking of together, I see our live chat is already exploding right now. We've got viewers pouring in from all 50 states and across the globe. Your super chats and your Rumble rants will be featured right here on the screen between segments, so get ready to have your voice heard by millions. Remember, super chat supporters get priority and your messages go straight to the top. Now, Patriots, we're just 42 days away from Donald Trump's historic return to the White House, and tonight's stories are absolutely seismic. We're talking about Trump's explosive NBC takedown that has the mainstream media in full panic mode, but that is just the beginning. We've got exclusive coverage of the Ivy League assassins' capture that's exposing a deeper conspiracy within America's elite institutions. Plus, CNN is facing total annihilation as a Navy veteran's lawsuit delivers what could be the final blow to their empire of lies. But wait. It gets even bigger. Senator Joni Ernst has just flipped on Trump's cabinet picks, signaling a massive power shift in Washington. And if that wasn't enough, we're tracking unprecedented military activity over New Jersey as mysterious craft continue to evade our nation's most advanced fighters. Now, I need to be straight with you. Maintaining this level of coverage is not easy. The powers that be would love nothing more than to shut us down, and that's why we need your support. The donation links are in the description below. Every contribution helps keep this truth machine running. And speaking of support, have you seen our new merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com? Our limited edition MAG Avengers gear is flying off the shelves, so show the world you stand with real news. And we've also just launched, drum roll please. Drum roll? Drum roll, please. Yes, we've just launched our new YouTube channel memberships with 3 exclusive tiers: Operative, Commander, and Sentinel. Join now and unlock special acknowledgement in the chat and get exclusive access to the Next News team. Now, I've already seen 2 people join. That's awesome. How cool is that? Now, Patriots, this is not just another news show. This is a movement. We're going to dissect these stories, expose the truth, and take your live reactions throughout the broadcast. Your super chats, Rumble rants will be featured on screen between segments. Remember, follow us on Rumble and X to get the coverage big tech doesn't want you to see. We're streaming simultaneously across all platforms because they can't silence us when we're everywhere. So buckle up. In the next few hours, we're going to show you exactly why the globalists are trembling. The stories we're about to break will shake your faith in everything you thought you knew about the power structure in this country. So stay with us. The Raw Feed starts now, and let's welcome you to the show. Who do we have here? Looks like we may have another new member. Let's see here. We got R. Boyd, who just joined up, and Heather Reeve dropping a $10 super chat before we even got started. You know the rules. We have to show the super chat. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Wait. Something's going on here. Wait, people are gifting. This is new. I've never seen this. This is all new. Okay, all these people are, this is totally new. Okay, so here's Heather's $10. Okay, there we go. We got that. tell Trump when he's done with the little gray men to stop the genocide on chronic pain patents, veterans, elderly, and people with painful diseases. Give us your opioid pain meds back. Okay, now, Jeremy Olson has just become a member. And then we also have Mountain Goddess. Okay, this is new, so just bear with me. Mountain Goddess, operative level, gifted five Next News Network memberships. What does that mean, Brian? So she gifted 5 membership. Oh, she gave out 5 memberships. Wow, okay. At the operative, okay. So it looks like Sure You was one of the first recipients here, was gifted a membership by Mountain Goddess, and then Mountain Goddess was gifted a membership by Mountain Goddess. Raisin S was also gifted one. How cool is that? Julie Highstand was also gifted a membership. Light Seeker was also gifted a membership. Angel Lawrence just became a member as well. Holy cow, this is wild. And Darlene Ferguson also has just become a member. Welcome to the club. This is super cool. You guys asked for it, and we worked over the weekend to figure out all the steps we had to take, and we got it approved today, and here we are. So now we've got this new way you guys can be acknowledged. And I should point out that we did set up a private Discord chat room for the highest level members, and that is where you can communicate with me directly and Brian. The second highest level, you can connect with me directly on social media. Direct messaging and such as well would be available there too. So those are some of the perks that we've got set up. And Brian had to jump through some hoops to get that all set up. Okay, now let's take a look. DB was talking about my bracelet earlier on. Yes, my bracelet. This was a gift a couple years ago for Christmas, and then I got this gift to match it another Christmas later on. So yeah, some nice chains that I've received over the years as gifts from my beautiful wife, and can't thank her enough for these. Okay, now we got David here, who says someone else said something. I like you, Gary, but what? But Heather, what? Okay. I'm broke but love you, says Scott. Gifted memberships are random, says Kurt. Simpson Oil, yes, I'm familiar with that. We've got Iowa here. Crystal is here. Jan is here. We've got Sure You, of course. We've got TD Gaming. Scott Edwards, Craig reporting for duty. Butch T48, looking forward to this. David Murphy is in the house. Who else is here tonight? Let's get everybody a good welcome. I'm kind of thrown off because Camel Toe is looking for the news. We'll get to it. Keep your panties on, buddy. All right. Velvet and Lace is here. What's up? Looks like a whole bunch of other gifted. Our boy just gifted another 5 memberships. This is crazy. Doug Tester. Okay, this is like a lot. It's a lot to try to digest here. I don't know if I can. Okay, so forgive me if I seem a little disjointed because this is new. Okay, our Boyd gifted 5 memberships. Doug has become a member. Sama Scraps became a member. Broken Prophet received one from our Boyd. Ari's Vixen also got one from our Boyd. Tony Erickson from our Boyd. How cool. And Mario O. And then we also got Matt Schaefer, also gifted a membership by our Boyd. Cool. Lots of new operatives. 15 new members already. And the show is just getting started. Such a cool feature. All right, bear with me. I'm kind of like, I'm just learning this stuff, guys. So just, like I said, bear with me. All right, another one. Darlene Ferguson dropping $10. Thank you for that, Darlene. In the super chat column, $10 from Darlene Ferguson. Thank you, Darlene. We're just getting started. Angel Lawrence has gifted one Next News Network membership to somebody. Who will be that lucky person? I guess we'll find out in a minute. That person is Justin Miller. So Angel Lawrence, 52, has granted a membership to Justin Miller. How nice. That's so cool. You guys can gift memberships to people. That's so generous of you guys. Okay. All right, let's I know you guys are waiting for the news, and I'm sure these gifting things will happen throughout the night, and we'll make sure we can acknowledge as many people as we can. You want to talk about Jay-Z? I did have that on the list, but I decided, because of some of the extreme allegations, I didn't want to get into it. But yeah, I am tracking that. So it's just some things that are just beyond my comfort zone when talking about these things. So gifting option is on. News. David just wants the news. Okay. All right, guys, we'll get with it. We will get with it now. Okay, Brian, they want the news. Let's give them the news. Something extraordinary happened during Donald Trump's NBC interview with Kristen Welker, something the mainstream media desperately hopes you won't notice. When Welker demanded that Trump turn the page on 2020, he didn't just refuse, he turned the tables on the entire globalist narrative. But here's what they're really terrified about. Trump is not just fighting back. He's exposing their entire operation, from declaring success will be my retribution to announcing RFK Jr.'s role in investigating Big Pharma to hinting at making Canada and Mexico the 51st and 52nd states. It wasn't just an interview. It was a declaration of war against the entire globalist machine. And Americans, the global elite, are systematically destroying your wealth through currency manipulation. In 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard, and your dollars have been losing value ever since. But there is a reason central banks are hoarding gold right now. They know it's coming. My friends at Global Gold Investments understand this crisis. Call them now. The number's on the screen, 888-700-4148, to receive your 2024 Protect Your Wealth and Retirement Guide absolutely free. Mention Next News for a complimentary portfolio analysis. Don't let your retirement evaporate. Secure your family's future with physical gold. That number, 888-700-4148, or visit IRA Gold Proof. It's linked down below. And mention Gary Franchi to get up to $1,000 in free silver with December rollovers. And another point I want to make before we get into this story is, if you want exclusive access and special viewer acknowledgement, join our channel membership program today at 3 exciting membership tiers. Unlock more by tapping join below this window. Okay, so we got that out of the way, and we thank our sponsors and all of our members. Let's take a look. This interview happened over the weekend, and we've got a bunch of clips lined up for you. They're all absolutely amazing. And what really just irked me, I just can't stand Kristen Welker. I know you guys can't either. Mainstream media, they're the bane of my existence. Of course, they're the reason we exist, because all they do is lie. All they do is create false narratives, but they keep us employed because we've got something to push back on. So let's get in with this. This is the success will be my retribution.
Country success. I'm really looking to make our country successful. I'm not looking to go back into the past. I'm looking to make our country successful. Retribution will be through success. If we can make this country successful, that would be my greatest. That would be such a great achievement. Bring it back. We have a country now that's overridden with crime, that has millions of people that shouldn't be here, that should be in prisons in other countries, that should be in mental institutions. We have drug lords being dropped into our country and told never go back to their country. I'm looking to make our country great. I'm looking to bring prices down because, I won on two things, the border And more than immigration, they like to say immigration. I break it down more to the border, but I want on the border and I want on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. I'm really looking.
I won on groceries. That's something that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris just couldn't quite figure out. They felt that abortion and where you can go to the bathroom were the top issues of the American people. Yeah, they couldn't read the room very well. And this was another this line of questioning really pissed me off. If you follow me on X, you'll know exactly how I feel. But for the sake of unifying the country, she asks, will you concede the 2020 election and turn the page? Like, why do they keep bringing this up? Why do they keep having to, it's the most annoying thing. They ask every politician, every Republican, blah, blah, blah. They can't let it go. But neither will we, because we know the truth.
The Justice Department.
Sir, I don't have to tell you this because you've talked about it. It comes at a time when the country is deeply divided. And now you're going to be leading this country.
Okay, first of all, see, she's leading with deeply divided. The country is deeply divided. Actually, it's not. You've seen the map of the United States. It's almost entirely red with a couple splotches of blue here and there. So that right there is a false narrative that she is perpetuating right there on mainstream news, broadcast news. False narrative.
This country for the next 4 years, for the sake of unifying this country, will you concede the 2020 election and turn the page on that chapter?
No. No, why would I do that? But let me just tell you, when you say the country is deeply divided, I'm not the president. Joe Biden's the president.
But you're going to be the president.
No. I'm not the president. So when you say it's deeply divided, I agree. But Biden's the president, I'm not. And he has been a divider. And you know where he divided it more than anything else, and it probably backfired on him, I think definitely, is weaponization. When he weaponized the Justice Department and he went after his political opponent, me. He went after his political opponent violently because he knew he couldn't beat him. And I think it really was a bad thing. And it really divided our country.
Sir, Democrats have control of the White House now. They didn't in 2020. If they are going around stealing elections, why
when you say
didn't they
Democrats have control now
of the White House?
Yeah.
So why didn't they steal this election? Since they have more power now.
Because I think it was too big to rig.
So you won't.
Too big to rig.
To the people who say that you're now directing your Justice Department to investigate 2020, and they want to move on.
Very capable. I think Pam is going to be great.
Precious resources.
By the way,
is that what you want them to do?
Just so you know, I have the right to do that, but I'm not interested in that.
Oh, you're not. You're not going to do that.
I'm not interested.
Okay.
I have the absolute right. I'm the chief law enforcement officer. You do know that. I'm the president. But I'm not interested in that. You know what I'm interested in? Drilling and getting prices down and stopping people from pouring into our border that come from prisons and mental institutions.
Oh boy. Here comes one from Libs of TikTok. Trump says he plans to end birthright citizenship on day one. Oh yeah. The left's heads were exploding all across the nation when he said this.
Go back to the people.
You promised to end birthright citizenship on day one. Is that still your plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
The 14th Amendment, though, says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
We're going to have to get a change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people, but we have to end it. We're the only country that has it.
Through an executive action?
You know, we're the only country that has it. Do you know, if somebody sets a foot, just a foot, 1 foot, you don't need two, on our land, congratulations, you are now a citizen of the United States of America. Yes, we're going to end that because it's ridiculous.
Through executive action?
Well, if we can, through executive action. I was going to do it through executive action, but then we had to fix COVID first, to be honest with you. We have to end it.
You promised
executive action. It'll be interesting to see how he pulls that off. Now, there was a viewer note. 33 countries in the world have unrestricted birthright citizenship. Another 32 have birthright citizenship through some restrictions. Okay. And here's this one. Died Suddenly posted this after the clip broadcast. Trump commits to banning for children if they can show proof they're dangerous. Let's listen. This was a powerful moment during this interview.
Let me ask you about RFK Jr. He has obviously talked about his skepticism of vaccines. He's expressed opposition to childhood vaccines. Do you want to see childhood vaccines eliminated?
If they're dangerous for the children. Look.
So possibly?
When you look at some of the problems, when you look at what's going on with disease and sickness in our country, something's wrong.
Are you talking about autism?
Well, if you take a look at autism, you go back 25 years, autism was almost non-existent. It was, 1 out of 100,000. And now it's close to 1 out of 100.
Well,
I mean, what's happening? If they can find it. Now, I did something the other night that was a little unusual. At Mar-a-Lago, I called the drug companies, the top drug companies, and I called RFK Jr. and Dr. Oz and some of his people. And I said, let's all get together and let's figure out where we're going. Because we're going to do a lot of things. Number one, we're going to reduce prices because the middleman makes more money than the drug companies, in all fairness to the drug companies. There's a middleman that nobody even knows who they are. And you look at our drug prices, they're much higher than the prices for the same medicine, for the same stuff. So we met, and we met for a long time, and we talked about pricing, and we talked about vaccines, in terms of what happens. We talked about pesticides. We talked about everything. And I think a lot of good things are going to come from him. And he's not going to upset any system. He's not going to upset the system. He's not looking to, to reinvent the wheel totally. But when you look at the numbers, we really don't have a very healthy country.
Well, sir, going back 25 years, studies show that there is no link between vaccines and autism. And yet it sounds like you are open to the possibility of him looking
I'm
at
open to
getting
anything.
rid of them?
I think somebody has to find out. If you go back 25 years ago, you had very little autism. Now you have it. I mean,
well, they say because they're better at identifying it.
1 in 100,000, and now it's 1 in 100. That's a pretty bad number.
Childhood vaccines.
I mean, something is going on. I don't know if it's vaccines. Maybe it's chlorine in the water, right? People are looking at a lot of different things.
Childhood vaccines.
I want them to look at everything.
Everything. So childhood vaccines have prevented about 4 million deaths around the world every year.
I think that's
sir.
great.
Isn't that...
I'm all for it. I think it's great. Hey, look, I'm not against vaccines. The polio vaccine is the greatest thing. If somebody told me get rid of the polio vaccine, they're going to have to work real hard to convince me. I think certain vaccines are incredible. But maybe some aren't. And if they aren't, we have to find out. But when you talk about autism, because it was brought up, and you look at the amount we have today versus 20 or 25 years ago, it's pretty scary.
Well, again, scientists say that's because they've gotten better at identifying it, and there's no link in
but
studies.
The drug companies are going to be working with RFK Jr., and he's been an interesting guy to me. I've watched him for 25 years, and he's been an interesting guy.
Oh, man, she was freaking out there. Oh, she was freaking out there. Wow. I am so happy he's doing that, though. Here is, this actually was posted by Democrat Wins Media. In a stunning announcement, Donald Trump said he will deport U.S. citizens who have undocumented parents. This is Trump's veiled way of saying he's going after dreamers.
Well,
4 million families in America who have mixed immigration status. So I'm talking about parents who might be here illegally, but the kids are here legally. Your borders are.
You're talking about separation?
Yeah, well, there are two aspects to this. Your borders are, Tom Homan said, they can be deported together.
Correct.
Is that the plan?
Well, that way you keep well, I don't want to be breaking up families. So the only way you don't break up the family is you keep them together and you have to send them all back. Even
kids who are here legally?
Well, what you're going to do if they want to stay with the father? Look, we have to have rules and regulations. You can always find something out like, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. I'll tell you what's going to be horrible. When we take a wonderful young woman who's with a criminal and they show the woman, and she could stay by the law, but they show the woman being taken out, or they want her out, and your cameras are focused on her as she's crying, as she's being taken out of our country, and then the public turns against us. But we have to do our job, and you have to have a series of
4 million
And then the public turns against us. Mark my words, there will be multiple videos of those moments, and the media is going to play them on repeat to turn the public against Donald Trump. But all he's trying to do is uphold the law and clean up the mess that Joe Biden has left. Yeah. President Trump said that Kash Patel will have the power and autonomy to investigate any D.C. politician who might be corrupt. Ryan Fournier publishing this. He says this is the cleansing that we need. Yes, we do.
Very popular. If they think that somebody was dishonest or crooked or a corrupt politician, I think he probably has an obligation to do it. But
are you going to direct him to do it?
No, not at all. Not at all. We have two great people.
He doesn't need to direct him because Kash already knows who to target. He doesn't need it. You've seen the clips we've played of Kash. He knows exactly where the bodies are buried, and he's going to go right after them all. That is, of course, unless Joe Biden decides to pardon everybody.
We have him and we... No, not at all. Not at all. We have two great people there. We have him and we have Pam. And Pam Bondi has been like a rocket ship. She's very popular and very good and very fair. And Kash Patel is very fair. I'll tell you, I thought Kash may be difficult because he's, a strong conservative voice. And I don't know of anybody that's not singing his praises. The other day I was watching, and Trey Gowdy, who's a moderate person and very smart and very respected in the party, he's Kash's biggest fan. He said, this is the most misunderstood man in politics. He's great. I guess they work together on the Russia hoax or something. They think that...
Oh, yeah. The cleansing, the great cleansing of the swamp is about to happen. Deplorable PA, 41 days until Trump is president as of Monday, December 9th. You have now entered the twilight zone where journalists are acting like journalists. They're realizing that without him, their numbers will tank. Anyway, interesting interview below. Lots of info. This is a link to the full interview. If you want to watch it, I'll just retweet it now, repost it on my X account. You can check it out there. Here is Kathleen Winchell saying Kristen Welker is a political hack and biased in this interview, but Trump pushes back. I can't wait for a real J6 committee.
Just remember, unselect committee, a year and a half of sworn testimony, and after getting all of the testimony, they deleted it, and they destroyed almost everything. There's nothing left. It's unprecedented.
And they denied doing that.
If you do that in a civil case...
Yeah. Listen to Welker defending the swamp. Oh, makes me so mad. Oh, they denied it. They denied it. They denied it. Shut up.
You go to jail.
They deny doing that. And officials say that the order never came in for the National Guard.
A statement.
On January 6th, let me ask you this about January 6th. I think
Benny
you're going to want to
Thompson
answer
wrote
this.
in a statement that he has destroyed all evidence.
Let me ask you this about January 6th.
I wish you could be you have such potential. If you could be just...
This is when he just goes into her and destroys the biased media. This is beautiful.
Just non-biased. You hurt yourself so badly. I'm telling you, they deleted and destroyed all the evidence. Everyone knows it. And you slough it off like it doesn't mean anything.
No, I'm just saying they deny it. That's all I'm saying.
Kristen, if I did it, you would be standing up in that chair shouting at me. And you know what I'd do? I'd say, you got me. They have done something so illegal. They have a committee sworn to, and because it was so bad, the only reason they did it is because the testimony turned out to be in favor of me. Like Secret Service testified and disputed everything. It made them into a bunch of liars. Not Secret Service, it made the people. They got rid of it because it made Nancy Pelosi, the mayor of D.C., so many people look like criminals. And I will tell you, it's illegal for them to delete and to destroy that evidence.
Let me ask.
The press was obviously unfair to me. The press, no president has ever gotten treated by the press like I was. And yet I got more votes than any Republican candidate in history. by far. It's not even close. So you say, what's that all about? The press has to straighten itself out because, honestly, it's lost all credibility. When that can happen, based on the press, I should have gotten no votes, none. And yet I got the highest number ever. And the reason is because I'm able to go on a show, even like yours, even though you're very hostile, I'm able to go on a show like yours. No, you are.
Well, hopefully you thought it was a fair interview. We covered a lot of policy ground.
It's fair only in that you allowed me to say what I say. But, the answers, the questions are, pretty nasty. But look, because I've seen you interview other people like Biden. And
I've never interviewed President Biden. Actually.
When I say you, I'm talking metaphorically. I've seen George Stephanopoulos interview Biden, and he's a tough interviewer. It's the softest interview. I've seen CNN interview him. They give these soft, what's your favorite ice cream? It's a whole different deal. I don't understand why. You would think the press would like to see strong borders, great education, a powerful military, so we have a country left, and all these different things. And somehow they don't want to see that.
Oh, no, because they're protecting the deep state, President Trump. You know that. That's their job, to protect the establishment. She is an absolute political hack. Tim Pool, he said, he invaded my home. I'm like, what did he say? I got to check this clip out. Will you fire Christopher Wray? Here's his response.
He didn't.
Are you going to fire the current FBI director, Christopher Wray, who you appointed?
Well, I can't say I'm thrilled with him. He invaded my home. I'm suing the country over it. He invaded Mar-a-Lago. I'm very unhappy with the things he's done. And crime is at an all-time high. Migrants are pouring into the country that are from prisons and from mental institutions, as we've discussed. I can't say I'm thrilled. I don't want to be Joe Biden and give you an answer and then do the exact opposite.
We're going to talk about
So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to say is I certainly cannot be happy with him. You take a look at what's happened. And then when I was shot in the ear, he said, "Oh, maybe it was shrapnel." Where's the shrapnel coming from? Is it coming from heaven? I don't think so. So we need somebody to straighten. I have a lot of respect for the FBI, but the FBI's respect has gone way down over the last number of years.
Don't you have to fire him in order to make room for Kash Patel if he is in fact confirmed?
Well, I mean, it would sort of seem pretty obvious that if Kash gets in, he's going to be taking somebody's place, right? And somebody is the man that you're talking about.
Are you?
Yeah, say goodbye to Christopher Wray. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a hostile moment on D.C. Donald Trump, listen to this. Donald Trump, as you know, Insurrection Barbie. Donald Trump did not keep his salary his first term as president. He's not going to keep his salary during the second term as president. He didn't accept the pension, and he won't again. Nobody has done that except for maybe George Washington.
And has accepted.
Planning to accept a salary as president?
I'm not going to accept a salary, no. And I'm giving up a lot of money, Do you know, it amazed me, maybe this isn't right, but other than George Washington, and they're not sure about that, every president has accepted their salary except me.
And you did accept the pension, correct?
I don't think so.
You didn't accept your pension?
I don't think I accepted anything. I didn't. I get a salary. The president gets about $450,000 a year, and I didn't take it.
I want to ask you again about...
But by the way, I got no credit for that. That's okay.
Well, I am asking you about it for that reason.
Yeah.
And I think it's notable you're not going to accept a salary.
Yeah, I don't accept. I'm not. Yeah. I didn't, and I'm not going to. Okay. And I don't believe I got any credit for that. But I just feel it's, for me, it's a nice thing to do. I think this, and I was surprised. Not one president has done that. I would have assumed Roosevelt would have not accepted salary, or Kennedy. Kennedy family is rich. I would have assumed that some of them. I'm the only president that
planning to accept a salary.
Only president. How wild is that? President Trump just setting precedent all day long. Here's where he says Mexico and Canada should be the 51st and 52nd states.
We shouldn't be here subsidizing Canada to the tune of over $100 billion a year. We're subsidizing Mexico for almost $300 billion. We shouldn't be subsidizing. Why are we subsidizing these countries? If we're going to subsidize them, let them become a state. We're subsidizing Mexico, and we're subsidizing Canada, and we're subsidizing many countries all over the world. And all I want to do is I want to have a level, fast, but fair playing field. You're subsidizing.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Let's revisit this. This is when he gives the master class on how to expose a fake news journalist. 60 seconds.
You've talked about it. This is your first interview since you won the election.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations to you.
I hope you do well with it.
Yes, and sir, I don't have to tell you this because you've talked about it. It comes at a time when the country is deeply divided.
Again, a lie.
And now you're going to be leading this country for the next 4 years. For the sake of unifying this country, will you concede the 2020 election and turn the page on that chapter?
No. No. Why would I do that? But let me just tell you, when you say the country is deeply divided, I'm not the president. Joe Biden's the president.
But you're going to be the president.
No. I'm not the president. So when you say it's deeply divided, I agree. But Biden's the president. I'm not. And he has been a divider. And you know where he divided it more than anything else, and it probably backfired on him, I think definitely, is weaponization. When he weaponized the Justice Department and he went after his political opponent, me, he went after his political opponent violently because he knew he couldn't beat him. And I think it really was a bad thing. And it really divided our country.
This is your...
Yeah, Joe Biden. Who will ever forget the Dark Brandon speech that he gave and just went after all of Donald Trump's supporters? Here is NBC News. Charlie Kirk. President Trump tells NBC he's most likely to pardon J6ers on day one and warned that some members of the J6 House Committee should go to jail. I agree with those points. Ever wonder how moronic Kristen Welker is? Just listen.
Sir, will the United States stay in NATO while you're in office?
In where?
NATO. Do you commit that the United States will remain a member of NATO while you're in office?
Again, they have to pay their bills. If they pay their bills, absolutely.
But not if they don't pay their bills.
But NATO's taken advantage of us because we were look, two things. Number one, they take advantage of us on trade, meaning the European nations, okay, like terrible. They don't take our cars. They don't take our food product. They don't take anything. They take, it's a disgrace. And on top of that, we defend them. So it's a double whammy. So let me just tell you, I was able to get hundreds of billions of dollars put into NATO just by a tough attitude. I said to the countries, I'm not going to protect you unless you pay. And they started paying. And that amounted to more than $600 billion. That's a big thing. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be fighting. They wouldn't have any money to fight. If they're paying their bills, and if I think they're doing they're treating us fairly, the answer is absolutely, I'd stay with NATO.
Sir, will the United...
So she asked the question, will we pull out of NATO? I mean, what a ridiculous question is that?
States stay in NATO while you're in office.
In where?
NATO.
I mean, it's just a ridiculous question. She's reaching so hard to bait him into some soundbite that they can exploit later. And believe me, all these soundbites are all being played by the left, and they're trying to take advantage of this moment. But guess what? Donald Trump schooled them all. So what does this all mean? Why would Trump choose this moment to unveil such a bold agenda? Well, the timing isn't random. With just 42 days until his return to the White House, Trump isn't just planning policy changes. He's declaring all-out war on the globalist machine. But here's the real question we needed to answer in the comments below. Is Trump's strategy of total confrontation with the media exactly what America needs right now? Or is it just playing into their hands? And speaking of taking action, have you seen our explosive new Mega Avengers collection at the Next News merch shop? Our limited edition series is flying off the shelves, so head to shop.nextnewsnetwork.com to gear up before they're gone. All right, I think we saw quite a few. Man, you guys are on fire with these memberships. You guys are really loving this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna try and get through all these here. Like I promised you, between segments. Okay. I saw somebody like Resto guy. Okay, first of all, there was somebody who called me today. And I want to acknowledge that. My God, I can't even keep up with them all. Holy cow. Okay. Okay, pardon me. I'm just trying to sort through these things here. Okay, so we've got Broken Prophet was gifted a membership by R. Boyd, Ari's Vixen. I think we got those. Darlene Ferguson's $10. Yes, Justin Miller, Angel Lawrence. Okay. Steve Gunner dropping $2. Thank you for that. And Crypto Mojo became a member. Vicky became a member. Viv B became a member. Resto Guy 1 became a member. Viv B gifted 10 memberships. Wow. How cool is that? So Angie Warren got one. I'm Trash Bra received one. Sean Bartolome received one. DB got one. John C received one from Viv. OGD Dog as well. Nunya, Texas, on the back 20 received one. Wow. Walter received one. Made in Australia received one. Velvet and Lace received one. Tart Work became a member as well. Holy cow. This is wild. Okay, Live Free or Die. Glad to hear some of your rights have been restored by YouTube, Gary. Thank you for that $10. Live Free or Die. But there was one message that I wanted to bring up because I did receive a phone call from Ryan Bradford. That's who it was. Ryan Bradford. He called our phone and he sent me some video because we're talking about these UFOs and these drones over New Jersey and Bedminster, and he was up in Milwaukee and he saw this thing in the sky. And I said, okay, send us the video. We'll take a look at it. And immediately I recognized it as Starlink. And he actually saw the Starlink satellites flying through the air, which is quite a sight to see. And I could easily understand why people would be freaking out when they see these things, because it's a line of lights that are in the sky. They're obviously low Earth orbit satellites, part of Elon Musk's internet system. And it's pretty remarkable to see it. Okay, it's ironic. Was gifted. Dan Wood became a member. Muse and Spews. I would love a Christmas gift this year of some sort, says Muse and Spews. Wow, this is gonna be a lot to keep up with. Holy cow, a lot to keep up with. I wonder if there's a way to sort out if you could, because I can't. If there was a way to sort the super chats versus the memberships, I don't see a way to do that. Maybe we'll have to send Evie Mux a message and have it, because they're all what, Brian? Well, right, like the $1.99 that just came in from James 31 minutes ago, that's blue, but also the members Justin Miller is blue. So baby blue. Okay. Let's see. Our Texas Homestead. Glad you finally got paid subscribers back. Thank you, Texas Homestead, for that $9.99. Thank you for that. Angie Warren. Okay. Well, okay, but the ones that are gifted are different. Like the gifted ones also have their own color. Okay, we'll figure it out. We got more news to get to. This is the big story today. Okay. All right, we can figure that out later. All right. Okay, wow, we're at 34 new members and $58.97 in super chats so far. Awesome. Mark Allen Handy is now an operative as well. Welcome to the club, sir. Welcome to the club. Okay. When Luigi Mangione walked into that Pennsylvania McDonald's, he wasn't just any suspect. He was the embodiment of America's elite gone rogue, a valedictorian, tech prodigy, and Ivy League graduate who decided to wage war on corporate America. But here is what no one is asking. How does a brilliant young mind transform into an alleged assassin? The manifesto they found isn't just a document, it's a warning sign of something far more sinister infiltrating our institutions. And why are certain media figures like Taylor Lorenz seemingly celebrating this attack? The truth might be more terrifying than anyone is willing to admit. Now, winter is coming, and so are crippling heating bills, but while others struggle with skyrocketing costs, I stay warm for pennies a day. This revolutionary portable heater has changed everything. Just plug it into any outlet and watch as it transforms cold rooms into cozy spaces instantly. It's not just efficient, it's a game changer for your wallet. And right now you can get it at 60% off plus free shipping at staywarmnow.com. Don't let the energy companies rob you blind. Take control of your comfort and your costs. Visit staywarmnow.com and experience the warmth revolution for yourself. You'll find it linked below. Also, special note, ready to level up your Next News viewing experience? Become a channel member at the Operative, Commander, or Sentinel level for exclusive member perks. Now let's get into the top news right now. Tommy Gabriel, you may remember him. We interviewed him on this very show some time ago. He came out of the closet as a MAGA supporter, and, well, he took some flack for it, but he posted this picture. This is Luigi Mangione in his holding cell. Fox News Digital posting this first photo of the CEO murder suspect inside a Pennsylvania holding cell. Laura Loomer posting this just a few hours ago. We were tracking all of the social media assets of this alleged assassin, and I went to his Instagram page. I had it up on my screen, was monitoring all the things and reactions from people, and refreshed the page, gone. And this is, of course, this happens every time there's some high-profile crime that occurs. Everyone rushes to the social media accounts to see what kind of language is being talked about, what kind of posts they're making, the replies, people they're connected to. Well, Laura Loomer posted this 6 hours ago after I refreshed it. Instagram nuked the account of Luigi Mangione, the suspected alleged United Healthcare CEO shooter, and she took this screen recording of all of the photos that were on his Instagram account of him. You know, looks like it's just a normal life, you know, on the beach, hanging out with friends. But yeah, all the photos now completely gone. And then there was this bizarre video that was posted. Now, I can't confirm if this was actually a post by him or some kind of a dead man switch. It feels like a dead man switch that he posted this video on his YouTube channel, a cryptid, supposed pre-recorded video titled The Truth. And it was published after his arrest. It's believed that he is using a script to release the content. The assassin claims that more will be revealed. And it's just simply some kind of a countdown. If you see this, I am already arrested. And that's all it says, the truth. And it just counts down. There's nothing more than that. Now, I looked at, there were several accounts that had posted this video. Two of them got deleted immediately, but one of them was still up as of this report. Now, I'm not sure if it's the actual account of the person. People have a tendency to create these fake accounts. They put them in the person's name. I don't know what they're trying to do. Are they really trying to get new subscribers? Or I don't know the benefit of it. But this seems to be a habit. Every single time some high-profile person, you know, like Thomas Crooks, like all of a sudden there's all these YouTube accounts and social media accounts of Thomas Crooks. You know, it's just ridiculous, but all is scheduled, you know, whatever. We'll see what happens if there's actually any videos that are going to drop on these channels. Now, there is some context. The video is from a YouTube account that was created today, acting as Luigi by using pictures from his ex account. The YouTube account name also does not match Luigi's ex handle. Video was fabricated and not posted by Luigi himself. So we'll wait to see if that's in fact true. But here's something interesting. They cheer on death when it's CEOs, unborn babies, or anyone who dares think differently than them. Riley Gaines posting this 5 hours ago, calling the left a death cult. And here's Taylor Lorenz giggling 5 hours ago, saying she felt joy when Brian Thompson was shot. This is on Piers Morgan.
And he's being gunned down in the middle of Manhattan. Why does that make you joyful?
Thousands of Americans that be murdered. So are the tens of thousands of Americans, innocent Americans, who died because greedy health insurance executives like this one push policies of denying care to the most vulnerable people. And the many millions of Americans that have watched people that I care about suffer and in some cases die because of lack of health care.
So should they all be killed then? Should they all be killed, these healthcare executives? Would that make you even more joyful?
No, that would not.
But why not?
And,
why are you laughing?
I think because it wouldn't fix the
You seem
system.
to find the whole thing hilarious.
I find your question funny.
A bloke's been murdered in the street. I don't find it funny at all.
I don't find it funny that tens of thousands of Americans die every year and because they are denied life-saving health care from people like the CEO. Now, I want to fix the system. You're right. We shouldn't be going around shooting each other with vigilante justice. No. I think that it is a good thing that this murder has led to America, or really the media elites and politicians in this country paying attention to this issue for the first time. You mentioned you couldn't understand why somebody would feel this reaction when they watched a CEO die. It's because you have not dealt, it sounds like, with the American healthcare system in the way that millions of other Americans have.
I've dealt with the healthcare system in various ways in America. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but the idea that I would view it as something...
Have you been denied life-saving treatment?
The idea that I would view it as something joyful, that a man has been, who's just a healthcare executive, has been executed in the street, I find completely bizarre.
Oh, yeah. Well, she is now, she's lost her job at one of the outlets. Roseanne Barr posting this, liberals, Alex Jones should be fined $1 billion for what he said about that school. Also liberals, I love the guy that shot the CEO in the back because he's fighting against fascism. Roseanne Barr, never disappointing. Here is a photograph again of the alleged shooter in question. Here's the actual video of him getting, arriving for his arraignment following his capture at the McDonald's. Apparently he worked at the McDonald's. And what's also bizarre about this whole thing is, like, people are falling in love with this guy. It's not just like Taylor Lorenz who are celebrating the fact that a CEO has met his demise at the hands of an assassin, but people are actually like falling in love with this guy. His grin, his smile. I mean, it's really bizarre. But this is the world we're in. Okay, libs of TikTok. This is okay. Speaking of Taylor Lorenz here, she reposted this meme of this guy Colin saying, "In this house, Luigi Mangione is a hero." End of story, with a photograph of a screen grab from the HBO show The Sopranos. So, I mean, this is what she's reposting. This is the kind of sickness that Taylor Lorenz has. But Vox Media now splitting with the ex-WAPO reporter after explosive comments on United Healthcare Brian Thompson's murder. So I think that joy has now slowly turned to sadness as she's realizing how stupid her comments are. Tammy Bruce, 11 hours ago, looks like they may have the suspect in the murder. According to the New York Times, of course, we do know now he is in custody. A man is being held for questioning in connection with last week's killing of health insurance executive in Midtown Manhattan. According to law enforcement officials, the man was identified based on a tip from someone who spotted him about 9:15 a.m. on Monday morning in a McDonald's restaurant in Altoona, Pennsylvania. According to the officials, the man who was detained at McDonald's showed the police the same fake New Jersey ID that the man believed the gunman presented when he checked into the hostel on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. That's according to senior officials. Slightly offensive, of course, also breaking this news, Elijah Schaefer's media outlet. Penn State University student detained in connection with United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson's murder. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione is the suspected murderer in the United Healthcare CEO. He said in his manifesto, these parasites had it coming. Also, something bizarre, monopoly money, this was 2 days ago, monopoly money was discovered in the backpack that was found believed to belong to the person who executed the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. No identification of the suspect has been made. Of course, we know that now has changed. Colin Rugg, 10 hours ago, the person of interest in the murder has been ID'd. Former Ivy League student and activist. He's been described as a tech whiz, former valedictorian, and he is an anti-capitalist 26-year-old who shared quotes online from the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski. So it looks like he looked up to this guy. Imagine a society that subjects people to conditions that make them terribly unhappy, then gives them drugs to take away their unhappiness. That's a Kaczynski quote that was liked by Mangione. Also, science fiction, it is already happening to some extent in our own society. Instead of removing the conditions that make people depressed, modern society gives them antidepressant drugs. So apparently he studied at the University of Pennsylvania, valedictorian at his 2016 graduating class at the Gilman School in Baltimore. That's according to the New York Post. His X profile, is it even still active? Yes, it is still active. Here it is. Looks like his last post was on June 10th. Talking about reposting a Huberman Lab podcast about smartphones and social media impact on mental health. I mean, it looks like you could still go through his entire. You've got some stuff here from Peter Thiel, posting a book about the anxious generation. Interesting. Posting a lot of stuff here in his X profile. So at least X hasn't taken his profile down, but Facebook, Instagram, removing his profile, down the memory hole it goes. Another interesting element here to this whole story, his cousin, the cousin of Luigi Mangione, the Ivy League activist who's suspected of being the United Healthcare CEO shooter, is a Maryland state delegate named Nino Mangione. So he has relatives in politics. His cousin apparently is a Republican. Okay, we've got some news clips here. Let's jump into some of these. I know we've got some repeated stuff here later, but let's take a look at this first one.
The person at the McDonald's, were they buying food? What were they doing at that exact moment?
He was an employee at the McDonald's.
Right. But what was the suspect doing?
He was sitting there reading.
So he was reading during the apprehension, and he was, in fact, an employee of the McDonald's where he was arrested. Okay, so should we play this video about the... No, we don't need to play that. That's 2 days old. Here's more from the NYPD.
On his person. Earlier this morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan. The suspect was in a McDonald's and was recognized by an employee who then called local police. Responding officers questioned the suspect, who was acting suspiciously and was carrying multiple fraudulent IDs as well as a U.S. passport. Upon further investigation, officers recovered a firearm on his person, as well as a suppressor, both consistent with the weapon used in the murder. They also recovered clothing, including a mask consistent with those worn by our wanted individual. Also recovered was a fraudulent New Jersey ID, matching the ID our suspect used to check into his New York City hostel before the shooting incident. Additionally, officers recovered a handwritten document that speaks to both his motivation and mindset. NYPD detectives are en route to Pennsylvania as we seek to interview the subject further. This apprehension is thanks to the tireless work of the greatest detectives in the world, and of course, the strong relationships we have with our local law enforcement partners. On every level, local, state, and federal, we all serve the same public safety mission. And this case, which captured the attention of an entire nation, is another example of how connected we are and how important it is to work together, share.
I should give some credit to all the folks on X who were diligent in doing a lot of citizen journalism and digging into all of the data online. X is a powerful, powerful community when crowdsourcing becomes the means to get to the bottom of things, because our elected officials just are too way down in bureaucracy, and citizen journalism really gets it done. This is what basically I think is what did him in. Lee writes, like a true Italian, Luigi Mangione's fatal error as an assassin was giving himself away by stopping to flirt with the cashier at the cafe before going to work, pulling his mask down and smiling to flirt. And it's this picture that has all these weirdos online falling in love with this guy. I mean, they're just falling in love with him. He was a smart kid, though. Sadly, they say here an AI expert who decides to K-puff the CEO of a healthcare company that their AI program was denying 90% of insurance claims. And this is his speech. You know, here's a portion of his speech.
Valedictorian, and please welcome me and join welcoming to the podium, Luigi Nicholas Mangione. Luigi.
Throwing it all away. For what?
Well set. Congratulations. Thank you.
Class of 16.
Headmaster Smythe, Mr. Hubeck, members of the Board of Trustees, family, friends, faculty, and fellow students.
Yeah, throwing it all away. I'm sure he was radicalized at the universities, because that's what happens when kids go off to these universities. Shadow of Ezra, 10 hours ago, the murder suspect linked to the United Healthcare CEO identified. Radical anti-capitalist climate activist, former Ivy League student who idolized Unabomber Ted Kaczynski. Authorities discovered he was carrying a manifesto condemning the healthcare industry for prioritizing profits over people, accompanied by calls for violence.
New York Times reporting he is officially calling the man that was picked up at McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, a, quote, suspect in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. AP has confirmed, per their sources, that writings critical of the insurance industry were found in the possession of the person being questioned. And while we have not yet confirmed this, the New York Times, and again, this is the New York Times reporting that the suspect's name is Luigi Mangione, 26 years old. According to the NYPD, the suspect traveled from Atlanta to New York City and then took a bus out of town and was the suspect that's in custody now. We don't know for sure if it's the same person as is wanted in the murder of Brian Thompson, but the suspect was picked up at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. More on this.
More pictures surfacing online. And this appears to be I believe this is his X account. And a lot of people are drawing attention to this center photograph of this X-ray. And appears to be 4 pins in somebody's back. Some surgical operation that occurred. I'm not sure if it's him. Maybe he was personally denied some care and had an axe to grind. Of course, I initially believed that this was an inside job. I believed that it was somebody that wanted to snuff out the CEO who was related to the DOJ investigation, insider trading that we had reported on. But in fact, turns out it was somebody who was affected allegedly by the healthcare industry and radicalized by the Ivy League institutions. Ted Cruz writing this 9 hours ago, leftism is a mental disease. The suspected murderer, an Ivy League graduate, subscribed to anti-capitalist and climate change causes according to law enforcement. The murderer has been widely celebrated by leftists online. It's tragic and sick. This is Luigi, the person of interest in the execution of Brian Thompson, apparently a bright student. And Behezy tweets, George says, I have a strange feeling this is yet another MK Ultra experiment by the CIA. Only time will tell. And I believe we have some reaction here. Okay, so this is Kylie Jane Kramer pointing this out. The person of interest for the murder of United Health, Brian Thompson, is Luigi Mangione. Okay, this is really bizarre. Luigi was followed by Taylor Lorenz. Okay? Taylor Lorenz was signaling the next healthcare target immediately after Brian Thompson was gunned down in New York City. Taylor needs to be immediately investigated by the FBI, New York Police, NYPD News. Somebody was helping Luigi Mangione. He was speaking to someone on a burner cell phone around the time of the shooting. The question being asked, could it have been Taylor Lorenz? Now, I don't know, but it's alleged that Taylor Lorenz was actually following him on X before the shooting. Now, I'm not saying there is a connection here, but people are drawing lines, and they have a lot of questions. Taylor Lorenz posted this after Brian Thompson's death, and Blue Cross will no longer cover anesthesia. Yeah, and people are saying maybe there's a connection. She was blocked a long time ago. Great investigative work. You might be onto something. She went on TMZ and doubled down on the CEO. This is all sketchy. I mean, if anything, she's just a cheerleader for this guy. But the fact that she was following him is pretty suspect. The suspect of the shooting in United Healthcare, CEO Brian Thompson, wrote, "Violence is necessary," in an Amazon review. I mean, he actually went on Amazon and reviewed the Unabomber Ted Kaczynski's manifesto and wrote that violence is necessary. Violence, my friends, is never necessary. Here is the photograph of the fake ID and the gun that was found on him at the time. Some are saying it's 3D printed. That does not look like a 3D printed weapon to me. But I guess he was going by the name of Mark Rosario in his fake ID. But it's really sad. A smart kid just going down. Here it is. Okay, so Bricksuit wrote this. This is what caught my attention. Luigi Mangione's X account contains a banner image that appears to be an X-ray of a surgically repaired lower back. Could this be part of his motive in the attack and murder? We will hopefully have some more answers. Here is, I believe we have some more on this. Let's take a look.
Arrested earlier this morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges.
Yeah, we saw that already. The person of interest is taken into custody. Anti-capitalist, climate change activist, former Ivy League student. On his Goodreads account, he liked quotes from the Unabomber. How bizarre. But it looks like that may be one of his inspirations. I believe we have a tweet here from Roger Stone. Where is that tweet from Roger Stone? I want to find it. We could dig a little deeper. Sometimes these bookmark tweets don't always show up. But I remember Roger Stone had some interesting insight into it. And I know you guys don't like it when I'm scrolling here because I try to organize these things for you guys. But sometimes it just doesn't work out the way I always wanted. Okay, so This is 9 hours ago. Suspect in the shooting. Highly educated with an MSc in Comp Sci from Penn. Jacked has an X account. Retweets Andrew Huberman and Mike Benz. Very bizarre and very confusing. Retweeting Mike Benz. I mean, Mike Benz is highly critical of the surveillance state. So why he's doing that, I don't know. But at least he's in custody, and we will have answers very, very soon. I'm still trying to find that post from Roger Stone. Okay, this is the part about the resume. Valedictorian in high school, degrees in engineering, possessed a ghost gun, assembled a 3D printer, and a manifesto that criticized health insurance companies. Ted Cruz, of course, weighing in as well. But that's what we got so far, and we're going to continue to track this. And the capture of this Ivy League assassin isn't just a crime story, it's a wake-up call for America. When our most prestigious institutions are producing anti-capitalist revolutionaries instead of innovators, we have to ask, what's really happening in these ivory towers? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are our universities now breeding grounds for radical ideology? And if so, who's really pulling the strings? And Patriots, while you're fighting back against this cultural madness, show your support with our new Mega Avengers collection at the Next News merch shop. Our limited edition series is making waves across the country, so head to shop.nextnewsnetwork.com and gear up with the truth. Okay, let's get back and check in with our super chats and our new members. We're now at 36 new members on the channel. How exciting. Nunya just became a member. Mark Allen has become a member. Okay, it looks like we don't have anything new as far as I can tell at the moment. Okay, checking on the main interface. Okay, so it looks like we've got everything. All right, let's keep going. Let's get to our third topic of the evening. Oh, this is bad news for CNN. Bad news for CNN. Oh boy. Okay. Tonight, a Navy veteran named Zachary Young is doing what millions of Americans have dreamed of. He's taking down CNN. When a Florida judge ruled that Young could seek punitive damages, it wasn't just a legal decision, it was the beginning of the end for the most trusted name in news. But here's what they're desperately trying to hide. This is not an isolated incident. From Kyle Rittenhouse to Nick Sandmann, CNN's empire has been built on a foundation of lies. Now, as Allison Camerota jumps ship and ratings plummet to historic lows, one question remains: are we watching the final collapse of America's propaganda machine? And now in today's digital battlefield, your devices face unprecedented threats. Malware attacks have exploded by 643%, with millions of Americans falling victim every year. That's why I trust Virtual Shield Antivirus Pro. It's not just protection, it is your digital fortress, scanning every file and blocking dangerous websites before they strike. Plus, you can secure all your devices, Windows, Mac, and Android, under one powerful shield. Don't wait until you're hacked. Visit virtualshield.com/nextnews and get up to 75% off during their Black Friday special, plus a 7-day free trial. Protect your digital life today. Also, new news here at Next News Network. You can elevate your Next News viewing experience. Our 3-tier membership program, Operative, Commander, and Sentinel, awaits patriots seeking next-level engagement. Check it out. Hit the join button below the video. All right, now let's take a look here. This was actually published on June 24th, but it gives us some really good background into what happened today. Okay, Zachary Young, look at this. Zachary Young is seeking damages that could exceed $1 billion for a story that aired on CNN on Jake Tapper's show. Listen to this.
It's very.
Give us some of the details of this, because there, it's one thing to smear Joe Blow and some other Politico, but these were people who I think were acting in a heroic manner, an organization that was extracting people after the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. Can you fill us in?
Yeah, my colleague Nick Fondacaro has been doing tremendous reporting on this. He has a story out today at Newsbusters, and he'll have more coverage here throughout the week as we get closer to the debate. This dealing with a veteran here named Zachary Young. He's seeking damages that could total or exceed $1 billion for a story on CNN that aired during Jake Tapper's show that alleged that he was basically engaged in shamming, ripping off people trying to escape Afghanistan during the debacle that was the Joe Biden withdrawal from Afghanistan. During discovery, which was granted by a judge down in Florida, they found text messages between correspondent Alex Marquardt, who had the story on Jake Tapper's show, and other producers that a lot of expletives saying that they were going to nail this guy, when really that wasn't the case at all. In fact, this guy's clients included competition of CNN, people like Bloomberg that helped extract people from Afghanistan, saying that he was really ripping people off when, again, he wasn't doing anything of the sort. It's so damaging that a story that ran on Jake Tapper's show did not get a web version. A lot of these segments that are on television then get uploaded to the network's website as a separate blog, an article, and video, just trimmed to that segment. That wasn't the case in this segment because the editors at CNN.com knew that this was bad. They even in discovery admitted that it really didn't answer the question of whether he scammed anyone. So when you put a chyron on CNN saying Afghans trying to flee black markets, exorbitant fees, no guarantee of safety or success, and you're talking about someone who's not doing any of that, that sounds like defamation to me. And I should point out, Mr. Young here is not a public figure. He's not a member of Congress. He's not you or I. He's a private citizen living a private life. Obviously, in defense military contracting, it's very much under the radar. So for them to make these claims publicly about him and only give him a few hours for comment, whereas we gave CNN days to respond, which they did not, shows that, they really had an axe to grind with this private citizen. And as Nick has reported in our piece at Newsbusters, it has caused tremendous financial and emotional damage to Mr. Young.
$1 billion is what we're talking about here. Oh, yes, CNN is on the hot seat. But who can remember this? This is all. They are attacking everybody. Remember what they did to North Carolina Republican gubernatorial nominee, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson? He filed a $50 million defamation suit against CNN.
Potentially putting governor and gubernatorial candidate Mark Robinson have filed a defamation suit against CNN. What does this mean, and what's just the latest there?
So, Macy, let me first say this is a tricky one, because if you've watched any court proceedings, even the person suing is potentially putting themselves in a position to be scrutinized, because it opens up all aspects of a person's life, not just the topic at hand. So Robinson did file a $50 million defamation of character lawsuit against CNN, the network. And for those who are just catching up on this, there were some pretty disturbing claims that came out about Robinson about a month or so ago that showed some comments he may or may not have made on porn sites, calling himself a black Nazi, saying he supported slavery, several other derogatory comments. CNN then reported those findings, and now he's suing them. Robinson, by the way, Macy, he's the first black person to secure a major party nomination for the office of governor in North Carolina. So this is something else that I will continue to follow closely.
$50 million lawsuit against CNN. Here is Larry Elder. Back in October, Donald Trump has sued cable TV network CNN, claiming defamation, seeking punitive damages of $475 million. Donald Trump, this is October 5th of 2022.
Said nothing at all. Just now, Donald Trump has announced filing a $475 million defamation lawsuit against CNN. The lawsuit makes a number of allegations. One of them is that Donald Trump was accused of pushing the big lie about 2020. And CNN said nothing at all about people who were Democrats pushing the big lie about 2016, or Stacey Abrams pushing the big lie about her 2018 election, or Jimmy Carter saying that Donald Trump was put there because of the Russians. And it also mentioned that in the lawsuit that Donald Trump has been compared repeatedly to Nazis, to Hitler. We're going to talk about the lawsuit, 29 pages of lawsuit, which I went over, so you don't have to. Maybe someday they'll make a movie out of it.
So CNN, you guys know this. They've got a history of making up news. But what about this one? Remember this? The Covington Catholic student.
Reaction from the MAGA hat carries a certain connotation that provokes a conditioned reaction from many people, especially from marginalized people.
Marginalized people, says the CNN host, suggesting he's one of them, right? Well, a year ago, CNN played a leading role in vilifying the boys of Covington High School. Their crime? Standing in place while an extremist religious group and a man pounded a drum harassing them. They did nothing wrong, but it didn't matter. CNN and many others tried to destroy them. Video surfaced, though, and it showed that the boys were innocent. Now, CNN has settled a case with student Nick Sandman. He sued CNN and several other outlets for trying to wreck his life. CNN has agreed to settle. We don't know how much the amount is for, but they're not going to have to disclose any of the internal communications about the story.
Wow.
Which is kind of a shame. So we're not really going to know what the internal deliberations were unless someone else who is vilified by CNN decides to sue. We're not encouraging that. We're just saying if you wanted to know how exactly CNN decided to destroy the lives of totally innocent high school students from a Catholic school in Kentucky over a totally fraudulent, made-up story, you'd have to sue them again. But it looks like Nick Sandman has gotten at least part of what he deserves from CNN. I think he also sued the Washington Post. Anyway, we're going to continue following that story.
I mean, CNN has a history of this. What about this? Rittenhouse lawyer Mark Richardson.
In the future. Nick Sandman, he has come out publicly with a column saying that Kyle should sue all the media outlets that disparaged him and perhaps in some estimation may have even risen to the level of defamation. Have you spoken with Kyle about that, and would you advise him one way or the other with regard to that kind of civil action in the future?
I am not a civil lawyer. I am a criminal lawyer. So I do not advise on topics like that. I can say this, that when I got involved in this case, and there were a couple of other prominent lawyers who were involved and trying to make some calls. And, I said, look, all of your, riches and civil lawsuits are going nowhere if this kid gets found guilty of anything. So let's worry about what's important. And ultimately, no actions were filed by Kyle or on behalf of Kyle while I was representing him. And I can say this, much of the coverage at the beginning was wrong. The trial proved that. But just in the last 2 weeks, people might not believe this, but I watch MSNBC, CNN. I'm not a big Fox guy. And when I hear Joe Scarborough saying that my client shot his gun 60 times, that's wrong. When I hear some, guest host on the Joy Reid say that my client drove 4 hours to go to a riot with his AR, that's wrong. It's false. And it makes me angry that they can't take the time to at least get the generic basic facts correct. And because it didn't fit in the story that they wanted to tell.
Thank you.
And that's exactly why the fake news is dying. That's why MSNBC is on the chopping block. Oh, did you hear about this? Side note, New York Governor Hochul, to help with inflation. You can't make up this stuff. This is how dumb these people are. If you're an individual earning up to $150,000 a year, it's a $300 check. Listen they're actually they're going to fight inflation by printing more money.
In my budget next month, they will send you a check to buy your groceries for a month or whatever you want to spend it on. And if you're an individual earning up to $150,000 a year, it's $300. What does that look like? All right. How about that for individuals?
Oh my goodness. What an absolute joke. These people are delusional. They are absolutely delusional. Okay, 12 hours ago. This never should have been brought to trial. Lord knows if a mentally unhinged guy who'd been threatened passing. Okay, I want to bring this up too, because we do need to talk about this, because, Daniel Perry, he was dragged through the media as well. And now, thankfully, he's been found not guilty.
Slaughter. Breaking news. The jury has reached a unanimous verdict in the case of Daniel Penny. He's been found not guilty on the charge of criminally negligent homicide. Now, remember what was at stake here. The jury could not agree on manslaughter. They failed to agree twice. The judge gave them another bite at the apple on this lesser charge, negligent. They now say not guilty. What does this mean? Let's first go to reporter C.B. Cotton, who's outside the courthouse, to find out how this has played out. Now, I hear an immediate melee of protesters, C.B.
Hi, Harris. That's right. Protesters are pretty upset. There's a large crowd of them out here next to me. You can hear them rattling the police barricades, saying no justice, no peace. And what they're yelling now follows a series of threats that they hurled earlier as the defense walked in with their client, Daniel Penny, telling the defense team that Daniel Penny can have no peace here in New York if he's found not guilty on this lesser charge, criminally negligent homicide. And from what I can hear right now, they're repeating those threats. They are very angry. Harris, I also want to mention there were a couple people here this morning to support Daniel Penny, but the anti-Penny crowd far outweighs them, and they seem pretty upset. We're seeing police officers come out here in droves to try to keep the two groups separated for now. But I'm looking at our notes from the courtroom, and it seems like this is the first time we've seen some real emotion from Daniel Penny. His attorneys told me this morning that this trial has understandably taken a toll on him. He's been spending time with family and friends to try to stay calm. And our courtroom reporter telling me for the first time she sees him visibly smile, now hearing that jurors have decided he is not guilty of criminal.
Thank God. He's been found not guilty, but I'm sure he'll be reviewing all the footage. Here he is after the fact. Gunther Eagleman says he needs to get out of New York. Daniel Penny speaking to, for the first time.
Great. He's fine.
How you feeling?
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
He's feeling good. He's feeling good. He's feeling good.
What's up?
We're
Come together. How's it going? How's it feel?
Feels great. He's finally got the justice he's deserved.
Did you think it was going to happen?
Sorry?
He's like, I don't want to be near these cameras.
No, we think that this should have happened probably on day one, but the point thing is it happened. So,
Kyle Rittenhouse, 8 hours ago. I understand better than most anyone the joy Daniel Penny's feeling right now. Today's verdict speaks for itself. The jury got it right. I pray Daniel gets to decide the direction of his life, not the media or the bad actors. He deserves to live the life he wants to live, which goes back to the original point of this entire segment, is how the media drives these narratives and destroys people's lives. Raheem Kassam, CNN faces giant lawsuit after defaming the Navy veteran. Judicial proceedings are set to continue. More bad news for CNN. Oh, and then, of course, we have Rosie O'Donnell says she thinks she has herpes, and then she blasts MAGA. I'm going to spare you anything she has to say. Here we have, okay, and here's Allison Camerota. This was unexpected. Before we go on this busy news day, I want to take a moment to share some personal news. So she is already jumping ship because she knows CNN is sinking fast.
Before we go on this very busy news day, I just want to take a moment to share some personal news. This is my last day on air at CNN. I've had such incredible opportunities here these past 10 plus years. I've interviewed presidents and heroes and extraordinary people, the kind of peak career experiences that I had dreamed of since I was a teenager. The journalists at CNN are the very best in the entire news business. And it's been an honor to have been their colleague.
The best.
It's also an honor to have been in your homes this past decade through some of the biggest stories of our lifetimes. I'm always touched when a viewer comes up and tells me that I helped them get through these challenging times. So I look forward to doing much more of that with you. Please follow me on Instagram at Allison Camerata for updates on where to find me in the very near future.
How about not? When this news broke, I said on my ex account, I said, "Yeah, she's probably going to start a podcast." Yeah, that's what everyone's doing now because they realize that's where it's all going. Now check this out. This is great. Okay. MSNBC guest Molly Jong-Fast claims that legacy news needs to report on Trump differently this time around, or people will stop watching the networks. MSNBC in particular is at a 20-year low on viewers. The American people already see past their lies. X is the new media now.
These policies. Crimes. You wrote that we, the media, need to cover Trump differently this time, that everything cannot be a five-alarm fire, or at some point people are just going to stop. They're not going to turn it out, right? They're just going to tune it out. Right. Was there anything in this interview that did seem like a five-alarm fire? And where does the focus need to be, not just for people reporting on this administration, but for Democrats who are trying to push back against some of these policies?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Look, for sure, there are definitely things he said in this interview, like, the stuff about Liz Cheney that's really scary and that is really not a norm, a Democratic norm. For sure. But, we are in this period right now before the administration, and this often happens when there's a little bit of a lull. So the focus probably should be on reporting about these cabinet nominees and sort of, vetting them, real reporting about them, which we're seeing in real stories come out. And that kind of stuff, I think, is really, really helpful and important. And we see reporters, that's the thing. It's like there's a lot of criticism of the mainstream media right now. But and I'm on the opinion side, so I don't even have a horse in this race. But reporting is so important, and we're seeing such good, important reporting, stuff that we would otherwise not know about. And, if you want to stop corruption and you want to keep the federal government in line, the best thing you can do is have reporting, read reporting, have that sort of sunlight is the best disinfectant. So that's a really important norm, and that's a really important way to hold power to account. So, places like ProPublica, and that kind of stuff is actually quite expensive because you need to pay for lawyers and you need to have fact checkers.
And can be really, really unsexy sometimes. Going through reams of documents is not, it's a hard sell sometimes.
Yeah. Doing your job is a hard sell. Oh my goodness. The anchor in that report, her face told the whole story. Here's more. The twisting and turning to defend the Hunter Biden pardon is really something, Scott Jennings writes, but Americans know the truth. They were lied to, and Biden leaves office in disgrace. His comments on CNN. But see, this is another reason why people are tuning out CNN and MSNBC, and CNN is about to go completely bankrupt with $1 billion lawsuit.
Pissed. It was a total disgrace. He's leaving office in disgrace because of this pardon. And it's not just the pardon, it's the lying. Lied to the American people. According to NBC News, he and his top aides hatched a plan to lie to the American people. And then this week, he didn't even have the guts to go out to the White House podium and take questions about it. He sent Karine Jean-Pierre out there, who was also a part of the lying. And then she continued to gaslight the American people and the media. The American people ought to be pissed. But the media, the people who cover this White House, ought to be absolutely livid at the gaslighting and then the continued gaslighting and the hostility towards the idea of transparency. This is a monumental disgrace. You think 38, 39% job approval is low? Wait until we test him as he leaves office. He's going out of office as one of the least liked and most divisive presidents we've ever had.
And candidly, many of us who are institutionalists criticize Trump for coming after the Department of Justice and saying it's politicized, you can't trust it. And the language in the statement pardoning Biden could have been written by Donald Trump.
He was elected to cure Trump, and he leaves office sounding like what Trump's enemies say he sounds like.
The statement wasn't, I fear that Kash Patel will come after my son. It was, this was essentially politicized Department of Justice.
His own Department of Justice is corrupt. He said the Department of Justice is corrupt.
You can talk about the past if you want. I'm talking about the future. And the question is, are you going to leave? Are you going to...
It was a total disgrace.
A total disgrace. Every network, total disgrace. Oh, and speaking of disgrace, look at this. Brick Suit posting this. Joe and Jill Biden give Kamala and Doug the cold shoulder when they walk in. They never even look at Kamala. I'm beginning to think Bidens don't like her. They don't even look at her. Zero acknowledgement. Yeah. It is over for this administration. And speaking of over, we've got this cat turd calling them rotten scumbags. Ian Yeager, a congressional report just released from the House Judiciary Committee, found that Biden administration was monitoring Americans' bank accounts without proper authorization. Yeah, he's going to go out on that note as well. And here is another one. Anna Kasparian, a left-leaning host of The Young Turks, says she's not surprised that Trump flipped 10 blue counties red in California because Democrats have destroyed the state and mismanaged billions in taxpayer money. She went on with Glenn Beck. Okay, here is another leftist who is starting to see the light, and it's fascinating to witness.
More and more, I can definitely be honest about my own flaws and my own mistakes because I bought the mainstream media narrative that there wasn't a migrant crisis.
See what she just said there? She bought the mainstream media narrative. She bought it. The mainstream media is the problem, and she's waking up to it. And that's why CNN's going to go bankrupt.
And yeah, I did believe it. I believe because... Look, I was an idiot because, I mean, who do you trust in today's media landscape, right? There's a lot of liars out there.
Yeah,
and when it comes to mainstream media, the fact of the matter is they do play defense more and more for the Democratic Party. And that's an issue because there was a time when that didn't happen. And so I still believed in their good faith reporting, even though it turns out, a lot of these reports would omit really important details about what's really going on. And so it wasn't until Texas Governor Greg Abbott started busing or sending migrants to blue cities where that woke me up. That woke a lot of people up. And suddenly America realizes, oh, there is a migrant crisis.
Why did that wake you up?
Well, because all of a sudden you're seeing migrants sleeping on the floor in the police department in Chicago because they don't have shelter for these people, right? You're seeing, these. I love watching streams of city council meetings because that's how you understand what's really going on in these cities, right? These are real people who live there and they get their opportunity to speak.
Chicago's been an amazing thing to watch.
Wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch every city council meeting from Chicago because it's
crazy.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And for me, rather than relying on mainstream media reporting or anyone's reporting, to be quite honest with you, what I'll do is I'll go out of my way and I'll watch, the entirety of a government function, local government function. I talk to real people and I get a sense of where hearts and minds really are.
I want to point out, too, she mentions Chicago. She mentions migrants sleeping on the floor of police stations. And you know who's responsible for that? Ben Berquam and his excellent reporting on the ground. And Terry Newsom, right next to him, covering the migrant crisis in Chicago. That investigation reached her and woke her up. And now she's calling it all out. It's fascinating to see when you connect all the dots to this. Unreal. And now she's on Glenn Beck of all places.
So on election night, I wasn't surprised at all. I knew what was coming. I totally knew it was coming. I knew that Cook County was going to swing, I think it's about 8 percentage points toward Republicans. I knew LA County, and this is what I was surprised about. I did not expect Donald Trump to flip 10 counties in California from blue to red. But I guess I shouldn't have been surprised about that either. Because when you look at the conditions that people are living in a Democrat-controlled state, well, yeah, you can understand why people are turning their backs on the Democratic Party. You can understand why people are frustrated at the corruption, at the loss of $24 billion that was allocated to help the homeless, when homelessness only exploded during that time, and that money is now unaccounted for. It was funneled to nonprofits whose executives get paid minimum $200,000, $250,000 a year. And they have multiple executives who are making at least that or more. And you just see the waste and you see the real grift. And so for people out there who are concerned about the grifters, take a good hard look at the systemic grifting that's happening right now. It's disgusting.
Wow. Absolutely profound. Do you guys see what's happening here? I mean, this is it. Marilyn Mueller, fantastic news for this Navy veteran. I hope Zachary Young is victorious in his defamation lawsuit versus CNN. Legacy media is dead. CNN is trash. Fox News reports U.S. Navy veteran suing CNN lands a key legal victory ahead of a high-stakes defamation case. Jonathan Turley, Navy veteran Zachary Young continues to rack up his wins in pretrial motions of his defamation case against CNN. The court not only found that Young was not a public figure, but found he could secure punitive damages against the network. The clock is ticking. Zero Hedge notes CNN Jake Tapper hit with legal setback in defamation suit. Navy vet Zachary Young scores major wins as court allows punitive damages. Young is not deemed a public figure, lowering the bar for proving defamation. CNN's insufficient retraction leaves punitive damage on the table, a potential financial blow amid struggling ratings. This case could set a precedent for media accountability in Florida courts. A judge blasting CNN for moving target defense in Navy vets defamation, handing Zachary Young a major win against CNN. The ruling, the network said, had no evidence before branding him a black market profiteer. Oh, it's so bad. America One News, Newsbusters, a Florida judge ruling in favor of Navy veteran. So this is only the beginning of the end for CNN. Here's more. Kamala's deputy campaign manager, here's another point, admits the mainstream media and Hollywood are the amplification ecosystem for the left. Listen to this.
This is like, for the left, our amplification ecosystem is the mainstream media in Hollywood. And the mainstream media in Hollywood, A, don't really mess with us, or they're not like actually allies. And they're not where these voters who don't want to pay attention to politics are. Like, we're sitting here at Harvard at a big event with the mainstream media, and this is like voters out there that we actually needed to reach are not seeing this at all, and they're not seeing mainstream media at all. And I think fundamentally we have a mismatch between the amplification engine of the left and the media of this moment, which is increasingly alternative, anti-establishment, all that stuff. And so that presents a real issue for us as the party of institutions at a time when people really hate institutions. For the left,
I mean, like, I just listen to him again. Listen to the beginning. I mean, this is Kamala's deputy campaign manager making this admission at Harvard.
Our amplification ecosystem is the mainstream media in Hollywood, and the mainstream media in Hollywood, A, don't really mess with us, they're not like actually allies, and they're not where these voters who don't want to pay attention to politics are.
I mean, the fact that he's bringing this up, Fixie Clary, Anna Kasparian talking with Glenn Beck, what timeline am I in? This election has been mind-blowing. My friends, I mean, just watching all these things, connecting all these dots, it is fascinating to witness. Now, the implications of Young's victory stretch far beyond one lawsuit. As CNN faces potential financial ruin, other mainstream media outlets are trembling. But here's what everybody should be asking in the comments. Is this the beginning of a larger awakening? I mean, look at Anna Kasparian, right? Will other Americans follow Young's lead and start holding these media giants accountable for their lies? Patriots, while CNN crumbles, show your support for real news with our explosive MAGA Avengers collection at the new Next News merch shop. Our limited edition series is making waves across the nation. The mainstream media hates these designs because they expose the truth, so head over to shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. before they try to cancel this collection. Wow. How wild, right? Wow. Man, I really enjoyed putting that story together for you guys, because there were so many dots I wanted to connect, because I started with the story of the Navy veteran, Zachary Young. And I'm thinking to myself, man, like this is just one like stop on the timeline. I mean, you go back to Covington, you go back to the Trump defamation suit. You go to Mark Robinson, you go to Kyle Rittenhouse, and I mean, all the things, the Covington case, all these things. And it just, one after another, these people are falling apart at the mainstream media. And it's because of channels like this. It's because you guys are paying attention. You guys are sharing our videos. I mean, literally almost every video we publish is going viral. They're all going viral. It's like the brakes are off and we are going full steam ahead into this next administration, because people are tuning out CNN. They are tuning out MSNBC, because we are getting our news from the people, the real people on the ground. I mean, citizen journalism is exploding, and we really have to thank Elon Musk for this. I mean, if he didn't buy Twitter and turn it into X and remove all of the censorship machines that were baked into that platform, we would not have the free flow of truth that we have today. I mean, I was reading a post just the other day, and someone said that as soon as they walked in to Twitter and they looked under the hood, they found that everything about the code was designed to manipulate reality. It was all designed to shadow ban, to flag, to suppress. If you became a friend with this person, then you're deboosted. If you post this, then you're shadow banned. I mean, one after another. And that's one of the reasons why I never really took full advantage of Twitter at the time, because the censorship was so rampant. It was turned up to 11. I mean, I'm surprised that some of the people who I've been following for a long time are even still on the platform. A lot of people I'm thankful who have come back because Elon Musk has allowed them to. I mean, look, Alex Jones is back, and he is on X, and he is on fire. Thank God. I mean, he is a voice that we need to hear. I mean, Mindy Robinson, she's another one. Her account was terminated on X, and she got her account back. Thank God. The work that she's done, the voice that she has been. I mean, there's so many other examples that I can give you. But Elon Musk has been a revolutionary change agent in the tech industry, bringing us all back free speech. And if you're not following us on X yet, you need to follow us. There are things we post there, like between these live streams and between all the different uploads we have on this YouTube channel. You'll find I'm reposting, I'm commenting, I'm replying. I'm very active now because I feel it's like I can finally speak again. You'll get that same feeling. If you're following me on X right now, type 1 in the comments. I want to see everybody who is following us on X. Yeah, Facebook, Kathy, Facebook was the worst. It still is. Like, we have a Facebook page. Cisco follows us. I have a Facebook page for Next News Network. I haven't been able to upload anything to... Okay, Angie, Angel, Dale, you guys are all following. I have on my Next News Network Facebook page, I haven't been able to upload a video in probably 8 months. And then we decided to create another page, a fan page, and that one just got dinged. Like, it is absolutely insane. Adam Ain't Right, Wheezy Wise, Russell, Eleanor, Tranel, Misty, Candy. All you guys, okay, Fringe just followed. Jim. Fixie Clary doesn't go more than they have to. Brand 47, yeah, go. You guys got to go. You're missing out over there. Adam, Ashley, Kimberly. Papa Renegade. I get out of Facebook jail tomorrow. 30 days. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Silver, Dark Fry, Manda K, John, Johan Ludke. Fascist book is nothing but ads now. You know what? That's the other thing. Yeah, Holiday, you got to get on X. You got to get on X. I'm telling you. Monye Taylor, Roscoe Treat. Yeah, every time I go on X, or every time I Lloydine Williamson, Matt, Fringe Minority. I am Daniel. Is there a Discord? I am Daniel. The Discord is reserved for top tier members on the channel. We just set that up today. So that's going to be like a really exclusive small group of people, I can tell. So if you do want to join that, you will automatically be added to that. It's the top tier though. And that's where you'll be able to communicate with me and Brian and other things. Yeah, when I open up my Facebook, what do I see? I see nothing but like people I don't even follow, pages I don't even pay attention to are showing up in my feed. And it's all like these garbage posts that are just like just unrelated stuff. Anyway, George is asking, where's Angie? Well, it's late. She's not with us tonight. Feed the Birds. King James. Brian, are you back yet? Oh, he is back. Okay. Histories and Conspiracies is with us on X. Left X because of the trolls. Well, Constance, it's a different place now. It's a different place. I'm telling you. Okay. Let's get to our next topic of the evening. This is yes. Okay. What you're about to witness isn't just a political shift, it's a complete power realignment in Washington. When Senator Joni Ernst announced her support for Pete Hegseth, something extraordinary happened. The dominoes started falling. Suddenly, Lindsey Graham's on board. Roger Marshall is backing the mission. Even John Cornyn is signaling support for Kash Patel at the FBI. But here's what the establishment doesn't want you to realize. This is not just about cabinet appointments. It's about dismantling the entire deep state apparatus. With Tom Homan preparing for action and Alina Habba joining the team, the swamp creatures are in full panic mode. Now look in the mirror. You notice those signs of aging? Well, here's what they're not telling you. After age 20, your collagen production drops 12% every decade. That's why I trust BioTrust's revolutionary collagen formula. It's not just a supplement, it's a scientific breakthrough combining all 5 essential collagen types for maximum skin rejuvenation. Right now, get an incredible 51% off at healthwithgary.com, plus receive free VIP health coaching, the 14 foods for amazing skin ebook, and free shipping. Don't let time win. Visit healthwithgary.com now and turn back the clock naturally. Also, big news, you can join the Next News Inner Circle. Choose your rank, Operative, Commander, and Sentinel, and unlock exclusive channel membership perks. You'll find that link down below. Where is it? Over here somewhere or over there? Down there, yeah, down in that area. Click join, and you can join the exclusive club. Okay, let's get into it. This is the big news today. Yes, we've got a lot of people watching right now. Lindsey Graham, Pete Hegseth 6 hours ago, saying, thank you, Senator Graham. Lindsey Graham posting, I had a very positive, thorough, and candid meeting with Pete Hegseth about his nomination to be the next Secretary of Defense. I appreciate how forthright and forthcoming he was. Okay, I guess that's good. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Lindsey Graham. You know, he's part of that old guard, neocon. And even when I was at Mar-a-Lago, Lindsey Graham got booed to his face. Yeah, pretty embarrassing. But, you know, with with Donald Trump coming into the White House again, there's a lot of people who should be very nervous. And I thought that this was beautiful. This was posted on TikTok by J Dub, and it's Nancy Pelosi. Look at this.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Nancy.
Hi.
Prison time's coming soon. Be ready. Donald Trump. Not much time left.
Look at her face. Oh, look at her face. Let's watch that again.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Nancy.
Hi.
Prison time's coming soon. Be ready. Donald Trump.
Oh, look at her face, though. Look at her face. Look at her face. Like, she's like, oh my goodness. She knows it. She knows she's a criminal. Oh, she looks back. She kind of she flinches when she walks away.
Not much time left.
Oh man, how beautiful was that moment right there. God bless that guy for catching that. And then we have this. This is also Pete Hegseth, Dr. Roger Marshall. Pete Hegseth has my support. He's qualified, strong, and will transform the Department of Defense for the better. Pete Hegseth will focus on recruitment efforts and lethality as the DOD should. So Hegseth is racking up the support. And here was this. So Senator Joni Ernst has been a thorn in the side of this whole process. And the amount of public pressure that has been put on her, because she knows, as we talked about in a previous report, there's been talk about bringing Kari Lake up to primary her in the next election cycle. And I have a feeling if Kari Lake did transplant herself, then Joni Ernst wouldn't stand a chance. And I would love to see Kari Lake in the Senate. But we do have some new news about Kari Lake and where she might be going with the Trump administration. And I've also said I would love to see her get a role in the Trump administration, and that may, in fact, be happening. But Pete Hegseth says, I want to thank Senator Joni Ernst for taking the time to meet with me again today. She has been been a leader to many important defense issues, which I deeply appreciate. I'm grateful for her support through this process. So now we're learning Joni Ernst is softening her support, or she's supporting him. She's getting behind him. Okay, Senator John Cornyn, this is on Kash Patel. I assume Patel will be confirmed. Listen in.
Well, I had a good meeting with Kash Patel, the president's nominee for FBI director. We still don't know what Director Wray's plans are, but eventually I assume that Mr. Patel will be confirmed as the next FBI director. We talked about the importance of restoring the reputation of the FBI as a nonpartisan law enforcement investigative agency. As you recall, that confidence was eroded beginning with James Comey's treatment of Hillary Clinton when he announced publicly that no reasonable prosecutor would prosecute her for misuse of her computers and the classified system. That was...
Brian, are you able to turn the volume up on this?
Fundamentally a wrong thing for the FBI director to do. That's a prosecutorial decision that should have been made by the Attorney General. But
okay, so I apologize for that audio track. It was a little bit low, but I'll just give you the cliff notes of it. He says, eventually, I assume that Patel will be confirmed as the FBI director. We talked about the importance of restoring the reputation of the FBI as a nonpartisan law enforcement investigative agency. I mean, the fact that he's got to say, restoring the reputation of the FBI as a nonpartisan law enforcement agency. I mean, these are the words coming out of a senator's mouth. That's an admission that the FBI has become a partisan cudgel. I mean, Donald Trump, when he was interviewed by Kristen Welker, he said that the FBI, they raided my home. I mean, he has a lawsuit against the FBI for that. It's a shame. restoring the reputation of the FBI as a nonpartisan law enforcement investigative agency. Absolutely insane. And then we have this, Florida's Voice reporting 9 hours ago. Florida Democratic Representative Susan Valdez switching registration to Republican, saying her previous party ignored the needs of her community. Welcome to the party. Another defection from the party. And now we have this Representative Tim Burchett. This is on Doge because, hey, I'm a big fan of Doge. I cannot wait to see what Elon and Vivek and Ron Paul, when they put that list together. I can't wait to go through it with you guys and just mock all the ridiculous spending. And we'll get to vote up or down what should get canned. Oh, yeah, a lot of pissed off bureaucrats going to be. But here's what Burchett says. Doge can expose the waste. Let's listen.
If we had $1 trillion every 100 days, again, this is where Congress has to get some guts, and the people and your viewers have to hold us accountable. I look up on that board every day at votes, and there's probably 15 or 20 of us that put a red dot, which means we vote against it. Last week we voted for one bill that had over $300 million in it, unfunded. We're borrowing this from our great-grandchildren again. Yep. You've got your Congress people up there, and they're going to grease their buddies that are lobbyists, and their wife and or their girlfriend works for some quasi-governmental agency, and they don't want to see it cut. And that's what happens. You all have got to start holding us accountable. That's why if we could get single-issue spending bills like we do in Tennessee, they drop a 3,000-page bill on our desk, and we got 2 hours to read it. You read down and find out what lobbyists you need to grease, what group you've promised to, what bridge you've got in your district, and then you vote for it. That's why we're $35 trillion in debt. Do individual spending bills. And the old timers tell me, well, Burchett will be here all night. Well, dadgummit, y'all pay us over $170,000, at least in Tennessee. That's a heck of a lot of money, and we need to start earning it.
And now we are
had $1 trillion every 100 days.
We are learning this just in. FBI Director Christopher Wray to resign because he doesn't want to get fired by Trump. Gateway Pundit reporting 3 hours ago. And AKA says Christopher Wray belongs in prison.
From prison?
Are you going to fire the current FBI Director Christopher Wray, who you appointed?
Well, I can't say I'm thrilled with him. He invaded my home. I'm suing the country over it. He invaded Mar-a-Lago. I'm very unhappy with the things he's done. And crime is at an all-time high. Migrants are pouring into the country that are from prisons and from mental institutions, as we've discussed. I can't say I'm thrilled. I don't want to be Joe Biden and give you an answer and then do the exact opposite.
We're going to talk about
So
that,
I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to say is I certainly cannot be happy with him. You take a look at what's happened. And then when I was shot in the ear, he said, "Oh, maybe it was shrapnel." Where's the shrapnel coming from? Is it coming from heaven? I don't think so. So we need somebody to straighten. I have a lot of respect for the FBI, but the FBI's respect has gone way down over the last number of years.
Don't you have to fire him in order to make room for Kash Patel if he is in fact confirmed?
Well, I mean, it would sort of seem pretty obvious that if Kash gets in, he's going to be taking somebody's place, right? There's somebody.
Gateway Pundit, FBI Director Christopher Wray to resign because he doesn't want to get fired by Trump. That was just literally sent in minutes ago by one of our viewers in the live chat. So another major development. And here, okay, let's talk about this. Go back to this Joni Ernst thing. Here is Pete Hegseth talking about that.
It was a very good meeting with the Senate. The more you spend, I've known her for 10 years. The more we talk, we're reminded of, as two combat veterans, how dedicated we are to defense. She has been dedicated to make the Pentagon work for warfighters for a long time. Had great, extensive conversations about that. Her commitment to the process, and we look forward to working together.
look at that press gaggle surrounding Hegseth, man. Wild stuff happening on Capitol Hill. Gunther Eagleman, I support this. Pete Hegseth reportedly plans to have a complete audit of the Pentagon as Secretary of Defense. Will they be able to pass it? I doubt it. Laura Loomer reporting 9 hours ago. Senator Joni Ernst says she will be supporting Hegseth for Defense Secretary. Great work, everyone. Our public pressure campaign is working, but it's not official until it's official and the vote is over. Hold the line. And Suzanne Ramdial, she dropped $19 in a super chat, and she says Senator Ernst is softening due to the tons of phone calls made to her office by private citizens like herself. So thank you, Suzanne. You are one of the people making it happen. And here's the scoop on Kari Lake, Shelby Talcott. Kari Lake is a top contender to be the U.S. ambassador to Mexico. That we are just learning. Semaphore posting the article, top contender to go to Mexico as the ambassador. But they're breaking down over there at The View. Whoopi and Navarro are at each other's throats debating the fear level of the incoming administration. People can't be relaxing and enjoying Christmas. Oh boy, what are they saying?
Kids, he does this to keep you all in a panic. He does it to make you all do this and talk about him. It is so terrible. But we have to do from now until January 21st is be with our families, be with our kids, do our jobs, make sure our checks don't bounce, make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and our families. Whatever he's going to do, he's going to do, but do take our word for it. Things seem to move slowly because, yeah, they didn't come get Hillary, but he has other people who are ready to go, but I don't think that they can just go out and do what they want to do.
I told you last week I disagree with you when you say that because we have the luxury of saying that because we're legal, we are successful, but if you're an illegal immigrant in this country, you're not going to be not in a panic. If you are a woman working for the Department of Defense, you have a right to be in a panic.
If you're a woman working in the Department of Defense, you have a right to be in a panic? What? See what they make up here? It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd.
People to stay fraught and like this.
I'm telling people to prepare, Whoopi. I'm telling people to prepare.
They are prepared.
So that means that they can't be relaxing and enjoying Christmas.
No, it doesn't mean that.
When winter is coming.
It does. You know what? I'm sorry.
I disagree.
Winter is here. Right. Winter's been with us. And my point is we can lay down and do nothing for the next 15 days and then be freaking out for the next 4 or 2 years.
To you is we are in a privileged position that a lot of people who are going to be under his...
We're in a privileged position, she says. We're in a privileged position because we can control the narrative. No, I'm sorry, nobody is listening. And we're here to deconstruct your lies and call you to the carpet. That's why you've got to do legal notes on every episode. Goodness gracious.
Who is going through the same thing.
I want his enemies listening. I'm not panicking. Yeah. Like, we just have to live.
We have to figure out what we're panicking for. We don't know what we're panicking for. They're throwing 50,000 things at you to make you do this. I'm saying don't buy into that. Do what you have to do. Take care of your family. And
every time I see Whoopi Goldberg, I just think of Stanley Spadowski's Playhouse. And I just think of him looking for his mop. My mop! My mop! Yeah. Keep freaking out, Whoopi. Keep freaking out. You guys aren't in a privileged position. John Solomon reports FBI Director nominee Kash Patel on Capitol Hill. He's meeting with lawmakers today. Trump border czar Tom Homan, 9 hours ago. He says, we're not waiting for January 20th. Let's listen.
A meeting. Well, look, I'm here to talk to a bunch of people here and find out what exactly is going on the ground. I was already in Texas. I'm working with Governor Abbott. I've had a meeting last week with the National Sheriff's Association, working with sheriffs across the country. I'm here in Chicago to speak to some groups here, some black pastors who have concerns about what illegal immigration has done to their community. So we're already on the ground in Chicago. We're going to fix this up as quick as we can. We're not waiting for January 20th. I'm working now. Well,
on the ground in Chicago, Gunther Eagleman breaking it down. X wins again. Senator Joni Ernst is willing to support Trump's nominees because of so much public pressure. Rudy Giuliani, let us get behind Pete Hegseth. Those who were with him earlier, I appreciate, but I'll extend that same appreciation for those who support Pete. Now that Senator Joni Ernst seems quite supportive. Imagine a warrior as Secretary of Defense. Senator John Cornyn, I had a good meeting with Kash. Eventually, I assume he will be confirmed. Maybe this has better audio.
Eventually. Had a good meeting with Kash Patel, the president's nominee for FBI director. We still don't know what Director Wray's plans are, but eventually I assume that Mr. Patel will be confirmed as the next FBI director.
Okay, of course, we now know that Christopher Wray will be resigning. Raheem Kassam, Joni Ernst, latest. I appreciate Pete Hegseth's responsiveness and respect for the process following our encouraging conversation. Pete committed to completing a full audit of the Pentagon and selecting a senior official who will uphold the roles and values of our servicemen. Kyle Becker reporting, Joni Ernst has caved and now says she will support Pete Hegseth through the nomination process to become Pentagon chief. X claiming another victory. And we have this post-millennial. Of course, we're, remember the 100 national security officials who all signed a letter to go after Tulsi Gabbard? Yeah, that old song and dance, that story we've heard before. Hunter Biden laptop. 50 national security officials have all said, intelligence community, it's Russian disinformation. Well, now we're finding out that 250 veterans have signed a letter in support of Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence, calling her a warrior who cannot be bought. So many amazing things are happening. Yeah, see this? Yeah. Nearly 100 former national security officials alarmed at the prospect of Gabbard leading the intel community. Donald Trump Jr., he said this a day ago. They run the same playbook over and over again. The American people are not falling for it. The deep state opposing her is about the best endorsement I could imagine for Tulsi Gabbard to be the next Director of National Intelligence. And here is Stephen Miller. This is good stuff. Comprehensive border security and tax reform will be fast-tracked.
It's full funding for. Well, I think the plan is to put both on a fast track. First, you can get John Thune and Lindsey Graham have promised that they can get a full funding package for the border, the most significant border security investment in American history, which would be the biggest domestic policy win in at least 50 years, to the president's desk in January or early February. That would mean a massive increase in ICE officers working on the deportation operation that Tom Homan just laid out. That would mean a historic increase in border agents, a pay raise for both, full funding for military operations, full funding for ICE beds, full funding for air and marine operations, full funding for all of the barriers and technology that you need to ensure there's never another Godaway entering this country. Now, President Trump, regardless, on day one is going to issue a series of executive orders that seal the border shut and begin the largest deportation operation in American history. But you're talking about what would be the largest investment in immigration and border security. This is something the Republicans have been talking about for decades, but with Donald Trump, this is something that is going to happen. It will be the most important and significant, as I said, domestic policy achievement in half a century. Then the plan, as Senator Thune has laid out, as incoming Majority Leader Thune has laid out, would be to move immediately at that point. Now we're talking in January, early February, immediately to the comprehensive tax reform package. That's where you have to figure out SALT, right? The state and local deductions. That's where you're going to figure out about different policy baselines that you're going to use for the tax cuts, about corporate tax reform, about trade reform, manufacturing reform, and all those tax policies. And with the 2 or 3 seat majority in the House, obviously, that's going to take some time. So it says nobody, I repeat, nobody is even talking or considering delaying tax. What the Senate has talked about doing is giving the president within a week or two of taking the oath of office, the most significant domestic policy achievement in at least 50 years. Our Border Patrol, our ICE officers, and every element of our domestic security operation will be fully funded to take down the cartels and eradicate the criminal gang threat in this country once and for all.
Yeah.
Tax reform will happen. It will happen, and it will be the greatest tax bill that we've ever seen. Now, these are not final. These are ongoing discussions and negotiations. But I just want to be very clear that no one's talking about delaying tax reform. What they're talking about doing is, before government funding expires in March, before the debt ceiling expires in June, just days after he puts his hand on that Bible, giving President Trump the biggest domestic policy win that anybody has seen in our lifetimes, Maria. Well, I think the plan...
And I am here for it. You are here for it. We have this from Amuse. He says, Congress inserted a new requirement that President Trump and Secretary of Defense Hegseth seek approval from them before implementing any defense-related executive orders in the 2025 NDA. Section 1067 requires congressional notification for executive action. Sounds like they're trying to put a poison pill in the NDAA, which is what they often do. We're finding this. This is Wall Street Mav. President Trump just selected Alina Habba as counselor to the president. I'm pleased to announce Alina Habba will join my White House team as counselor to the president. She's been a tireless advocate for justice, a fierce defender of the rule of law, and an invaluable advisor to my campaign and transition team. And she looks wonderful in a bathing suit. Oh, Alina Habba, welcome to the team. Well, she's been awesome. And then we got this too. This is interesting. This is telling. Laura Trump has stepped down as co-chair of the RNC. Now the question is Ron DeSantis appointing her to the U.S. Senate. That is what has been talked about. I think she'll do just fine there, having a strong ally in the Senate with Laura Trump. Of course, I would also like to see Matt Gaetz take that position as well. Either one I'm fine with. Of course, taking the seat from Marco Rubio, who's now been appointed as Secretary of State. Not a popular choice, but nonetheless, he has been appointed there. So we're going to find out. Leo Terrell is asking, tell me more. Tell me more. We're going to find out very, very soon. NDAA, they're calling this the silent coup against President Trump's authority. National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year is not just another defense bill. It's a calculated effort to undermine President Trump. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. And of course, Kari Lake going into potentially becoming the ambassador to Mexico. Elon Musk also bringing this question up a couple days ago. Why are we doing this when our own country is so deeply in debt? He's quote tweeting the Department of Government Efficiency. The United States gives more aid to foreign countries than the next 9 countries combined. Where exactly is that money going? Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy will get to the bottom of this. And then we have this talking about Hunter Biden's pardon. Mario Nafal, Bill Clinton said Hunter's pardon is nothing like the one I gave my brother. Let's listen to what Slick Willie had to say.
This was not on my plan originally, but I thought, you know what? Everybody, we were out in the hallway. They were all talking about that, and I said, I'm going to ask the president first.
Well, I think that the president did have reason to believe that the nature of the offenses involved were likely to produce far stronger adverse consequences for his son than they would for any normal person under the same circumstances. But I would urge all of you to just look at the facts before you make a judgment and see what they're talking about and what the context is. Because I'm still reading, somebody said, well, this is just like when Bill Clinton pardoned his brother. Well, it's not. My brother did 14 months in the federal prison for something he did when he was 20. And I supported it. And he testified, told the truth about what he'd done when he had a drug problem and helped to bring down a larger enterprise. And they sentenced him, and then he served 14.
This was not on.
So we have that. So much happening. Here's CNN's Scott Jennings. Nuking Joe Biden. Being absent and avoiding the press as President-elect Trump is welcomed back to the world stage with the Notre Dame Cathedral reopening. That was an amazing visual this weekend. The handshaking. I mean, the boss is back on the world stage and Joe Biden nowhere to be found.
His hair was crazy.
We had John Bolton on a couple last hour, and he just made the point, too. Look, typically the thinking is there's one president at a time. But in this case, just the visuals of it, you know, I'm looking at video right now of President-elect Trump standing there with President Macron, meeting with Zelensky.
Yeah, and what video do we have from the last few days of Joe Biden? He was in Africa a little bit, but kind of avoided the press. We see Jill Biden out a little bit. We saw him at the tree lighting ceremony, and he took his hat off, and his hair was crazy. I mean, thank God. We haven't had a functioning president. Let's just be honest. For God knows how many months. And thank goodness Donald Trump's willing to go represent this country on the world stage. He's not taken office yet, but you can already see the attitude change of the American posture and the posture of the rest of the world to the United States of America. We've had a weak presidency for 4 years. We will now have a strong president. Love him or hate him, this man projects strength. Joe Biden has projected weakness. I'm glad Donald Trump is there. This church, this cathedral reopening is a big deal to Catholics and Christians all over the world. Thank goodness Donald Trump made this trip. It makes America look good for the U.S. president to be engaged in a historical moment like this, so I'm glad he made the trip.
Oh, yeah. A historic moment, again, for our president. And here we have this grotesque Washington Post creature, Drew Hernandez, stating, calls for Joe Biden to pardon anyone President Trump has criticized. Did you hear about this one?
And so many. Well, the Constitution is quite broad. The pardon power is a plenary power. It really has no check from Congress or the courts. So the president has a lot of latitude here. The reason why there are broad categories that I suggest is because Trump has made so many threats against so many categories of people. I
wonder why. I wonder why he has. It's not like he hasn't been targeted by all these people. His life practically turned upside down with investigation after investigation, phony J6 committees, phony impeachments. It's all horrible. I mean, trying to bankrupt him, destroy his family business, everything. Oh, yeah, he's got an axe to grind, honey.
Inventing this, Donald Trump said he was going to go after election officials, for example, who operated during the 2020 election. That's a broad category of people that he may go after. Now, there were a couple people who, in one case, he specifically named. They've sued him, or rather his aides. But there are many people he could go after. He could go after Georgia officials, for example, who refused to come up with the votes that he wanted. So because Trump himself has laid out broad categories, journalists, election workers, the military generals who did not do his bidding or who said bad things about him after he left office. Those people are the ones who are at risk, and they deserve protection. Think of someone like Cassidy Hutchinson, who put her career, frankly, her physical safety, given the threats she now faces, on the line by going in front of the January 6th Commission. She shouldn't face vindictive prosecution.
Well, didn't she make up a story? Didn't she make up a whole story of lies under oath? I think that's a criminal offense.
So the president has the power to do that. He needs to lay out these categories with some degree of specificity, but it can cover the entire period of time that Donald Trump was in office. To be clear, It is not an admission that these people have committed any wrongdoing. In fact, he can say in the pardon, I do not believe these people have done anything wrong. However, they have been threatened. And in order to maintain the proposition that the Justice Department is not weaponized, to use a phrase that the Republicans love, I think President...
Well, actually, no, that was Joe Biden. That's the language Joe Biden used when he pardoned Hunter, saying the DOJ was weaponized against his son. Come on, get your facts straight, honey.
Would say that these people are deserving of protection. We need to stop this cycle of retribution. Now, people don't have to accept the pardon if they don't want to. And there are many instances in which Trump may seek to harass people going forward. He may try to audit them. He may try to send out subpoenas. He may try to come up with other crimes for conduct in the future. But at least for this period.
Look, if Trump's going to harass people, it's probably because they deserve it, okay?
Time for a great many innocents, I think a broad pardon would in fact give them protection, give them peace of mind, and really kind of put Trump and his crew in the spotlight. Threatening a whole swath of Americans is un-American, is not in keeping with our democratic traditions, and let him explain why he thinks he has to go after.
Okay, enough of you. Enough of you. Oh, and then here's this. Oh, Kinzinger asked if he's worried Trump will throw him in jail due to his involvement on the J6 committee. Kinzinger.
We embarrassed him.
That Donald Trump will try to put you in jail.
No, I have absolutely no worries about this. First off, the executive branch can't go after the legislative branch because we embarrassed him. That's not a...
But what if you committed a crime? Could the new FBI director, who has now been given authority to go after any corruption, could he go after you? Yeah, Adam Kinzinger is, he's just trying to hold it in. Because, at night, when he goes to sleep with his pull-ups on, he's crying himself to sleep.
That's not against the law. Ultimately, when we talked about him throwing his ketchup and hamburger against the wall, there's nothing illegal about that. And most of the people that testified were actually his Republicans, fellow Republicans that went up and spoke in him. So look, he's all butthurt right now because he was embarrassed. He's not going to come after us, and I'm not worried about it at all, in the least.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. Check your pull-ups when you wake up, okay? Please, would you do that? Oh, here's another one, a CNN panelist saying that she might be deported under Trump because she's a naturalized citizen. These people are delusional. Again, this is CNN.
My citizenship, I might be deported because I'm a naturalized citizen. And Stephen Miller, who is Donald Trump's deputy chief of staff, has said that they're going to embark on a denaturalization program. So I could be deported. My citizenship could be taken away. And my children could be deported because they have birthright citizenship. So this is not what the country voted for. Let's be very clear. Americans voted for Trump because of groceries, because of lowering costs. He has not talked about that one bit. What? This country did not...
What? Of course he's talked about it. What do you... This is another example of why the mainstream media is dying. Because of people like her. Spewing nonsense and lies. But we're here. We're here to correct these lunatics.
Vote for is to deport the 11 million undocumented immigrants who do critical work for our economy, who have injected $7 trillion into our economy. And what Americans want is a solution to immigration. They want expanded legal pathways, and they do want more stronger, smart border security, which is exactly what Democrats are talking about. And Democrats have always been the ones willing to work with Republicans on a solution, and it's been Republicans that have always pulled the rug from under our feet.
Wow. Okay, what do you have to say, Donald? What do you have to say?
Tomorrow they will say, Donald Trump rants and raves at the press. I'm not ranting and raving. I'm just telling you, you're dishonest people.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself, Mr. President. All right. What else have we got here? I think, we've got this. Tom Cotton, the third-ranking GOP Senate member, is confident all of Trump's cabinet members will be confirmed.
nominees. Brian, I expect a Republican Senate is going to confirm all of a Republican president-elect's nominees.
Boom! Make it so. Make it so. But I think my favorite video of this entire segment is this one.
Nancy.
Hi.
Prison time's coming soon. Be ready. Donald Trump. Not much time left.
So, as Trump's team takes shape, the real question isn't whether they'll be confirmed, it's how much of the deep state they will expose. With Hegseth promising a full Pentagon audit and Patel ready to clean house at the FBI, we're looking at a complete system overhaul. But here's what we need you to answer in the comments. Is the establishment's sudden cooperation a genuine surrender, or are they planning something more sinister? And speaking of making statements, check out our new Megavengers collection at Next News Network Shop. It's sending shockwaves through DC. Our limited edition series has the bureaucrats trembling, so head to shop.nextnewsnetwork.com and gear up for the revolution. All right, that was a fun segment. What is up? Over 50,000 views so far on this. Thousands of people, peak concurrent viewers. Wow, 3,521 people are watching. What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in tonight. It is great to see you here. Of course, our X feed is on fire as well. 527 people tuning in over at Rumble. Only 260. Well, it is what it is. But if you're over on X, make sure you repost this feed. Do it now. I'm going to wait. After you've reposted the feed on X, tap 1. What's up, Patricia in Arizona? Good to see you. Okay. Go to X, tap and repost the feed, and then come back here and tap 1. I'm going to be watching who my ex-soldiers are. Where are my ex-soldiers? Where are you guys? No, CME Gordy. We're going to go over the drone stuff. Lots of new developments. Angie Warren, we love the franchise. Oh, thank you, Angie. Oh, yes, nothing is what it seems indeed. The war of the worlds with drones is an obfuscation. John C., less taxation and honest press, swamp draining. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Jeremy Olson, Gary Reed, super chats between segments. Yes, we do have a super chat to get to. Thank you. I'm just reading what's flowing up here. Shared on X, Carrie. Thank you. Thank you. Where's the drone info, bro? I'm going to get to it, brah. What's up, Bob? Thank you for doing that. Robin, thank you for the repost. What's up? All the OGs are on YouTube. Okay. Let's see. Jay and Joe's show official. Do you think these drones could be a form of extraterrestrial? I'm from New Jersey and something seems very off. Well, I don't know. Supposedly they shot one down or one was downed, started a fire. I was tracking that. If you follow me on X, you'll see that. So we're going to find out. I'm not sure. But we do have some official statements from real officials here. Feed the birds, shared on X. What's up? Eva Williamson gifted 10 Next News Network memberships. Holy cow. So we have 10 new members who are officially in the Insiders Club. Ocean Breeze Salty and Patricia and Carol and Robin and Sean. Wow, Eva Williamson, like just passing them out like candy. We're now at 52 new members. That is amazing. Look at that. Oh, it even shows it up on the screen there in the chat. May was gifted and Jen and wow. Dark Fry, thank you for the repost. Alice, thank you for the repost. Are the drones spraying stuff? I don't know. Gary will answer questions noticed in super chats. Yes, if you have direct questions, the best way to get my attention is to throw money at me. It's got to be honest with you. I mean, that's what the super chats are for. They show up on my special feed here. I got a huge 50-inch monitor off the side here in the camera, and I see when the super chats come in. That's why I'm able to bring them up during a show or during a segment or whatever. So again, that's how I'm able to communicate with you guys directly. All right. Okay. Been sub since 2020. Patriots Inc. Wow, 2020. Get that money. Got to keep NNN going, Kev the Tech. That's right. That's right. Wheezy Wise reposted. How many reposts do we have so far? Hey, Chad, just so you know, I take questions for free. That's funny. Okay, let's see here. Looking at all these reposts. Scott Edwards. Checking the profile right now. I will be able to look right now. How do you like them apples, huh? Okay, the term you entered does not bring up any results. What is up with X tonight? It's like totally glitching out on my other phone here. Let's find out. Okay, we're going to get to the drone stuff, guys. Don't leave. Don't go anywhere. I know I saw you. So chill. We'll get to it. Let's see. All right, so 14 reposts so far. Let's see, post activity. It says here, okay. I thought I could click it. Yes, okay. Repost is Scott Edwards, Timothy Robinson, East Dallas Alice, Soul Shaker, Jill Lawson, Jimmy the Saint, Nathaniel, Riona, El Rio, Alconix, Anna, Monica, and Sure You, all reposting. Thanks, you guys. And but we're not done yet. We have the segment you have all been waiting for right now. Now, I was kind of torn. Like, do I cover the fall of Assad or do we cover the drones? Maybe we'll cover the fall of Assad tomorrow. Some really interesting international news. Okay, Angel. Okay, I see you. I see you. Okay, fine. Drones over New Jersey. This is what you want. I'll give you what you want. Eva Williamson, thank you for becoming a member. Something unprecedented is happening in the skies over New Jersey. When military helicopters start chasing objects that can simply vanish at will, we have to ask, what are we really dealing with? Mayor Sam Morris captures these crafts on video. The Ocean County Sheriff's Office documents encounters they cannot explain. Even Congressman Tim Burchett is calling for action, but here's the terrifying reality. These aren't ordinary drones. When Black Hawk helicopters get close, these objects go dark and disappear completely, undetectable by current U.S. technology. The Pentagon's silence isn't just deafening, it's damning. What do they know that they're not telling us? And as winter grips America, something far more chilling than the temperature is happening. Heating costs are skyrocketing, but while others struggle with astronomical bills, I've discovered a remarkable solution. This revolutionary portable heater transforms any room into a cozy haven for pennies on the dollar. It's compact, it's powerful, and includes built-in safety features. Right now, you can get up to 60% off plus free shipping at staywarmnow.com. Don't let your family freeze. While energy companies get rich, take control of your comfort. Visit staywarmnow.com and experience warmth revolution for yourself. And be more than a viewer of the Next News Network. Be part of our mission. We just launched this. Membership levels for viewers. We have 3 tiers awaiting patriots ready for exclusive access. Tap the join link right below this video and find out what you are missing. Okay, let's get into this. The Joe Piscopo Show. Remember Joe Piscopo? I used to love him on the on SNL. Well, he's got a show. And Sheriff Golden gave Joe Piscopo an inside look at the drone sightings in New Jersey. He's the Monmouth County Sheriff. Let's listen in.
As to where this is going on, and this is the cause of it, right? I think it's alarming now in several counties, flying over infrastructure and reservoirs and military sites and 911 centers, and we don't have any direct link to communication outages, but there has been some mild reports of that. So we have to take it seriously. I do think that we need reform with drones. I was on the phone with Congressman Smith just Friday over this very subject, and I think the federal government has to put some more technology into the state police hands, right? We have great state police led by Colonel Callahan. I know they're on it, and his Homeland Security team is monitoring it, and I know they've been up in the helicopters and everything like that. But when I say back in the hands of state policing, the feds are the only one that can de-drone right now. They have the technology to de-drone, and I'm not saying these military drones if that's what they are, but commercial drones that fly over large gatherings, stadiums, all of those things that would really concern and alarm our public. We have to have more tools in the hands of our first responders, and particularly the state police, that they can take care of some of these things and identify. And identification is another one, Joe. There's only certain drones that are identifiable with the FAA radar and all those kind of things. We need them all. If you are commercially sold or there's a commercial operation like Amazon, they have to be reported on flight aware, with the radar and the ID number and all those kind of things. I mean, that has to be a given. I mean, we're in the era of drones, right? We see it in the Ukraine-Russia war. That's the technology. That's where it's going. And, listen, I'm not saying our military, shouldn't be doing exercises or experimentation, but they should be transparent about it, right? If they're flying over the skies,
they're not even. But Sheriff,
it's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and they're not even. You're the sheriff of a big, huge county, and they haven't. And they have not addressed this to you.
There is no. There's been no answer as to where these things are coming from.
Wow.
This is going on.
But look at this, okay? Now this is a drone. This is a Chinese drone, and it's a drone that's shouting in the sky. Now this apparently it says, I don't know, I didn't translate this, but the post says, "We're watching you the whole time. Behave yourself, or you will bear the legal liability." Police in China now have tens of thousands of drones flying in the sky to spy on Chinese people day and night. Okay, and then we have this. This came out November 24th. China is building a drone army in preparation for America's pivot to Asia and global NATO. Yes, the swarm technology has civilization application, although it will be part of its military. Look at this. This is part of the Chinese drone army. Synchronized drones. Look at all those drones just taking off. What are they doing? I do not know. And here's another video. This came out November 17th. Chinese drone swarm. Imagine if they were armed. And of course, I'm pretty confident that they would have already figured out a military application for that. And then, okay, so UAP James 3 days ago brought this to our attention. This is from Jesse Waters. Now, I want to say this. Ask the startup drone company in Palo Alto if they believe playing chicken with the federal government and the Army and the Navy, state police, FBI, God only knows, to be good business practice, and then ask about the battery. Okay, here's Jesse Waters just a couple days ago.
Sources tell us there's a possibility that these drones are actually very advanced military craft and that the Pentagon's testing these drones over friendly American territory. Drone warfare has become so critical, as we've seen in Ukraine, that the U.S. military needs to test American drone capability in residential and urban areas. But the DoD's acting like these drones are a real concern. Listen.
This week, the Secretary signed a classified strategy for countering unmanned systems, more commonly known as drones, have the potential to pose both an urgent and enduring threat to U.S. personnel, facilities, and assets overseas, and increasingly in the U.S. homeland. As you know, the threats presented by these systems are changing how wars are fought. The DoD is orienting around a common understanding of the challenge and a comprehensive approach to addressing it.
Meanwhile, the FAA is issuing a warning. If they catch whoever's flying these drones, they're going to hit them with fines and revoke their licenses. That sounds kind of like a lot of hot air, because how can you find somebody you can't even find? Sources tell us there's a...
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we got Chinese drone swarms occurring. And here's Mayor Sam Morris of Mine Hill, New Jersey, says he has video of a stationary drone with 4 more objects hovering around it, going back and forth in a scanning pattern. This was posted 5 hours ago.
Mayor Sam Morris in Mine Hill Township is experiencing some of this activity. Mayor, thank you, first of all, for your time. You've seen these drones. Before we talk about the theories on the source of them, kind of just describe what you've experienced.
Been hearing about them, but last Tuesday night, a resident in town, one of my neighbors on my block, said that there were 8 overhead over our elementary school and municipal complex, which are, on the same block. So I got in my car and I rode around here. And by the time I got around here, which is only about a half-mile ride, the drones had all moved east over the town of Dover, New Jersey, kind of in between us. There's a large county park, and they were everywhere. I have a video of it was 4 with a kind of a stationary drone. What it appeared to us was there was 1 drone that was just stationary, and 4 were going back and forth in a scanning pattern. I'm a little older, so I would look like Pong from back in the day, right? Back, forth, and they went over the town of Dover. I went down into Dover to see a better look, get some more pictures, and they moved east again. And that was my own personal observation. I have residents reporting. Last night, some residents reported that there were, over various times of the evening, they were watching, and there were 12 over our lake. And they can't get pictures because they come out really grainy, and they're still like little dots on cell phones. I'm hoping some folks with some really good equipment can get out there. I know there's a fellow in town who has infrared night equipment who's going out tonight looking. He's going to try to see if he can get.
Mayor.
And that's the thing. How come people aren't taking their like civilian drones up to go and inspect? Apparently people are doing that. Here we have this 9 hours ago. Military helicopters appear to be out monitoring and hunting these drones operating in Bedminster, New Jersey, December 8th. This is according to a Facebook post by Ryan Joseph. Take a look here.
Chopper's coming back.
The video's going. Oh my God.
They're looking for it.
Oh my God, they're looking for it. They're looking for it. Jess, come on. Jesus Christ. They're after it.
No.
Holy fuck. What the fuck's going on?
And as we're filming, there's another drone coming up right there. As you can see, there's another drone right there. You can see it right here. That is 1,000% a drone.
Wait, what is that noise? What is that noise?
And that is also a drone right there. Just cross paths.
Is it coming back? Is it coming back?
Everywhere.
Is it coming back? Helicopter's coming back. Holy fuck. What the fuck is that? That's not a helicopter. Are you sure? It's a helicopter.
It's landing over by the station.
It's landing?
Yeah, there's a helicopter thing right there.
No.
Yes, Nicole. There it is. There's a drone right there.
That's not a helicopter.
Another drone right there.
No, it's...
This is just literally never ending. Yeah, there's plenty.
Wait till you see the footage we have over Bedminster. This footage is crazy. I'll get to that in a minute. Update: new footage from last night's drone shoot down or crash in New Jersey. Helicopter circling around the crash and fire. What is going on? So this appears to be the radar data from Flight Radar 24 showing the circling of this helicopter.
Like a craft that crashed out of the sky. It was crazy. We don't know what's going on. A lot of smoke and fire. We're on the highway, and out in the distance we see all these lights going off. And there's some smoke over here. Oh, right! Yes, YouTube magic right there. The field's on fire. There was like a craft that crashed out of the sky. It was crazy. We don't know what's going on.
A craft that crashed out of the sky, according to that account. Here's more. What is this? Here's another photograph. Jersey Coast Emergency News. State police are searching for a drone that possibly crashed in the Pine Barrens. We'll update as soon as we have additional information. It looks like a helicopter, perhaps, with its searchlights on. Now, Truth Poll posted this. The alleged viral video of one of the drones that was recorded over New Jersey is apparently an actual helicopter. So you can see on the left, that was believed to be a drone, but bearing the same type of light configuration as a helicopter. And we have this. Some have speculated the fixed-wing drone in this video taken yesterday before 5 p.m. is the Terradynamics XP4 transwing drone. The shape seems more consistent with the Sparrowhawk by General Atomics. So you can see some of the visual. You can see the imagery. Then you can see the actual drone image. And then here's the video.
Holy cow. It's a drone. That is a drone. The heck?
Now again, you can see it has the red and it has the green lighting on it, which indicates that it's following standard aviation protocol.
That is not a jet. The jet making the noise.
Okay, it means it's following standard aviation protocol for identification markers. Now here is, this is wild. Representative Burchett telling the public to shoot at planes. I don't know why he would say this. Maybe he's just saying it tongue-in-cheek. Mass hysteria in New Jersey. On Fox News, Congressman Tim Burchett jokes that citizens should start shooting guns at mystery drones over Jersey. But the video they show is just a normal passenger plane landing at Newark Airport. This is insanity. Of course, nobody should be taking shots at anything in the sky, especially with the possibility of these being passenger airlines. I don't even know why he would make a joke like this.
Entire neighborhood. This is a little bit personal to me. My entire neighborhood, everybody in the surrounding cities, seems like it's all anybody's talking about because there are so many sightings. We're going to show you the one outside of my house that my kids captured just on Thursday night. But what are your thoughts on this? What's happening, and why don't we have more information? That's over my house. Yeah.
It's one of three things. It's either individuals, it's either the Chinese, or it's our military, or a combination thereof. Honestly, you don't see a lot of that in Tennessee, where I'm from, because everybody's got a 12-gauge shotgun, ma'am. And I suspect we need to open the season up on drones.
This is a little bit personal to me. My entire...
Okay, I don't know if that should be advised by a congressman. Obviously a tongue-in-cheek remark, but nonetheless. Fox News host records a drone above her home. They're not high in the sky like an airplane. They're flying low.
And seeing these, you were saying Rachel Campos Duffy captured this video of drones. This is in her own backyard, and she joins us now. Rachel, y'all been seeing these. You were saying prayers with your kids, and they look out the window?
I saw it out the window, but that footage was actually captured while I was at the Patriot Awards, and my kids were home, and they saw it, they ran outside, and they captured that video.
So it's been more than once you've seen these.
Multiple times. This is all everyone is talking about. If you live in Morristown, Mendham, Summit, Bedminster, that whole Far Hills, that whole area, that's all you talk about. Go to the neighborhood, apps, where you put in if you lost your dog or your cat. they're all about drone sightings now. And so I think what you're seeing is, first of all, no answers. Whatever the governor put out was a non-answer. It didn't make me feel any better. And I just think we're in this era. You remember when I had my interview with Donald Trump at Bedminster? I'm like, will you declassify JFK? Will you declassify Epstein? Will you declassify the 9/11? And he was like, yes. I think we're in this era where people want more transparency from government, and they are so tired of the lies being told to them by the government. And I think that's what you're seeing right here. People are outraged. 3 weeks. No answer.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. When we were interviewing those mayors, that's what they said. They're not satisfied with just being told, well, you're safe, everything's fine. We want to know why. Who's manning these? Where are they from? Are they from another country? Because they told us the spy balloon is going through, and they allowed it to travel throughout our whole country before they actually took it down.
And then we found out they knew it was traveling over the country, that a Chinese spy balloon was going over our country, and Joe Biden's government was okay with it. Yeah. Now, another interesting little tidbit before we move on to the second topic, Ainsley, is people think I know something because Sean is up for the transportation secretary. I'm I don't know anything. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just as curious as everybody else, and I don't feel good. They're flying low. I mean, they're not up high like an airplane. They're flying low. You can see them, and they're large. They're huge. These are not hobby drones.
Rachel.
Okay, I think there's a combination of things going on here. And I think that there are some legitimate concerns about things people are seeing in the sky. There's some misidentification that's going on, as you can see here in this picture. And I also think that there could very easily be some hoaxers who are taking advantage of the situation, and maybe they're putting up their own drones and putting crazy lights on it just to continue to amplify the hysteria. I think maybe people are becoming very overly sensitive to the situation. So any single light they see in the sky, whether it's a passenger jet or a firework, who knows, right? They're automatically jumping to the conclusion, and it's just creating this feedback loop where it just grows and grows and grows. I think that could be part of the situation. But when Jesse Waters says that the Pentagon has authorized the use of these things, according to his sources, you got to raise some serious questions. But check this out. This was posted 22 hours ago, and it's supposedly UAPs caught on a Ring doorbell. Okay? And this is in Jersey. Check out this footage. What is that? Now that, I mean, could it be, I mean, there's a serious fisheye lens on that. I wonder if there'd be a way to reverse engineer that lens and flatten it out so you have a better perspective. But it looks crazy. I mean, it could be another, a hoax. It could be a firework. It could be a UAP. But this was recorded on the 7th of December. So just a couple days ago on a Ring doorbell. I mean, people have a right to be very concerned. Here's this guy, a New Jersey resident, reports his friend's drone was disabled trying to intercept a rogue UFO drone. His video account was disabled, and then FBI came to his home to interrogate him. Well, let's listen to his account.
No noise. A friend of mine on here that lives in New Jersey last night, which let's keep in mind is December 7th, saw
Okay, now, let's all take this guy's testimony with a grain of salt. All right? I'm not sure which platform he's published this to, but this could be another example of just somebody whipping up hysteria, taking their phone, and I'm gonna make up this grand story, and I'm gonna publish it to social media, and I'm gonna get everyone all worked up. I'm not saying he's lying, but I'm asking you to just watch this, objectively here.
Very large drone sitting above his home. And when he decided to use his drone to get a closer look, something really weird happened. As he flew his drone up towards these other 3 drones, he stated that these drones made absolutely no noise. But then he stated that when his drone got closer, that his drone was taken offline, with what he stated seemed to be some kind of EMP. But this...
Okay, so again, here's where this is suspect for me. He's going on social media and he's telling the story. Well, why not your friend go? Why doesn't your friend pick up his phone and make his story? Why are we getting hearsay? Okay? Again, grain of salt.
Here's where it gets weird. His drone fell straight from the sky, and as far as I know, he's trying to recover the footage that he had on that drone. He described these drones as being as big as a car and having one large blinking light on them. But the craziest part about it is the fact that he released a video of them hovering above his house prior to releasing his drone to go up to get a closer look, right? And now his account has actually ended up being banned. Do keep in mind he had 89,000 followers. And some of you probably saw that video. But what's weird is the fact that he had another video that clearly showed that after his drone fell out of the sky, he recorded these drones going faster than any other drone he's ever seen, or faster than any helicopter that he or I have ever seen. But now, after having a conversation from earlier this morning, he's had numerous FBI officials show up at his doorstep, which today is obviously Sunday, December 8th. But I still have yet to speak to him since noon. And
Okay, so first of all, he's not telling us his friend's social media accounts. He's saying, you probably saw the video. I don't know. I'm watching this guy's eyes, and I have a lot of questions.
Even read my most recent text message, so it's kind of concerning. But according to him, these officials were trying to seize his drone technology, and apparently he was in the process of being taken in for questioning. I don't know how much I believe in that, but he still has yet to text me back. But he's just one of many people that I know that have witnessed these drones hovering over New Jersey. And not just New Jersey, but New York as well. Drones that are obviously much larger than anybody has ever witnessed before. But as far as I know, he's supposed to be creating a new profile sometime this week. So obviously when I speak to him again and his profile comes up, I'll let everybody know. But something about this just doesn't seem right. I don't know. And the fact that our own government doesn't have any answers seems to be kind of worrying. I mean, that in itself just really has me confused. But if you've been an eyewitness to one of these drones hovering over your houses or just hovering over New Jersey and New York in itself, let me know what experience you had in the comment section below. Because I'm intrigued to know so much more about this situation. A friend of mine...
Comment below. Subscribe to my whatever. What is this? We got to find out who this guy is. I don't know. I'm not buying it, though. I will tell you that. I am not buying that story. Too many holes in it. But, these are the things we got to question, right? Okay, now this, though, look at this. This is the best New Jersey drone or UAP video so far near Trump Bedminster Golf Course. Pentagon stated they are coming up with a plan. Yikes, they don't have a plan yet. Look at this. That was K Prince 8162 on TikTok. Now you can hear propellers, or you know what? That sounds like a helicopter. Yeah, that sounds like a helicopter to me. Clearly sounds like a helicopter. I don't know. These people, man. Okay, yeah. See, it even got fact checked. Readers added context. This is Augusta Westland 139 helicopter. That's the thing. These people are just posting all this garbage all over the internet, and they're just like making all this hysteria. Like this guy. Like, who is this guy? Really? My friend caught one flying over New Jersey, and the FBI came, and I haven't heard from him for days. But we have to listen to this one. This is important, okay? This is, we'll find out.
What's going on in homes in New Jersey, in Morris County? I don't know how many mayors sent a letter to you this morning asking for a clarification. What can you tell us? What is going on, and why is it taking so long to come up with an explanation?
Yeah, it's a good, I don't blame people for being frustrated. Let me say, most importantly, right up front, we see no evidence, and I say we, this includes Homeland Security, FBI, Secret Service, our state police, authorities at all levels of government. The most important point to say is we don't see any concern for public safety. That's number one. Number two, having said that, it's really frustrating.
Okay, whenever they say there's no concern for public safety, tells me these guys know more than they're letting on. We've heard it time and time again when encountering these public officials. I believe this is the mayor.
That we don't have more answers as to where they're coming from and why they're doing what they're doing. We had last night 49 sightings. I think 20 of them were over 149. Now those include, I think I saw one mistaken a fixed-wing aircraft, a plane, a small Piper Cub, for instance, for a drone, or you saw one and that counts, and then I saw the same one and that counts. So we think these are overstated, but it's a non-zero number. I was on with the White House and Homeland Security leadership literally at the very top yesterday for pretty much all day. I'm hoping we'll get answers sooner than later. I would just ask folks to continue to let the FBI or their local law enforcement know when they see something, and we'll continue to do everything we can with our federal partners to get clearer answers.
Why is it so hard to get answers?
These are apparently as I understand it, very sophisticated. The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark. And, we're obviously most concerned about sensitive targets and sensitive critical infrastructure. So we've got military assets, we've got utility assets, we've got the president-elect's one of his homes here. This is something we're taking deadly seriously. We've gotten good cooperation out of the feds, but we need more, and that was my plea.
Finally, how much longer do you think?
I don't know, but if we have news, I'll let you know. The minute we know something, I'm not going to hide it under a bushel.
Governor, you're going to have people saying, I saw a drone and it was spraying something, or I saw a drone crash in my yard and it set off an alarm when I tried to go near it. There's a lot of fear amongst New Jersey residents. I mean, what is your message?
Well, the message I just gave. But by the way, we're not aware of any nefarious drone that has crashed, or if there is one that's crashed, could someone please call me and let me know where that is? There are a couple of rumored downings for one reason or another. One of them was a toy. The other one was never found. But having our hands on equipment that's on the ground would be helpful, no question about it.
In New Jersey, in Morris County, 20.
Okay, so that is the Governor Murphy of New Jersey addressing these sightings. Clearly, you can feel the mass hysteria. Trump Transportation Secretary nominee Sean Duffy's wife slams the feds over silence about the drones. 3 weeks and no answers. Truth Poll says, I think it's a mix of many things. People getting fooled. That's exactly what I said. People getting fooled by air traffic. Actual drones, not sure operated by whom. Other people's custom-made drones are sent to check out the other drones. Drone incursion and tiny fraction of actual UFOs and UAPs. Take a look at this, for instance. They say the video below, they are not planes. Clearly drones or UAPs taken over Arizona. Is this Arizona?
Mystery drones in the air. 3 mystery drones in the air. This is wild. I was moving quick. What in the world is happening? What? 3.
Bizarre. Ashton Forbes, he says it's more interesting than all the plane videos people are sharing. Could be something going on, but sharing videos of planes at night and claiming UFOs are morphing into planes is incredibly silly. Yeah, keep tabs on Ashton Forbes. Meanwhile, Rosie O'Donnell has herpes, and she wants everyone to know, and she made a TikTok. She's blaming it on UFOs. Yeah, maybe she's just trying to, ew. Oh, goodness, I'm not even going to play it here. Ashton Forbes, he says 11 hours ago, super fake. This whole saga's turned into mass hysteria. If you see green and red lights consistent with navigation, you're looking at an airplane. What's that thing where people look at clouds and see images? Same thing here. Okay, and 2 days ago, a man named Alexander was getting off work at 2 a.m. this morning and witnessed a hovering drone, which, with its lights turned off in New Jersey. Look at this. That's bizarre. What else have we got? So much happening with this. Okay, here's this one. New pictures. This is ridiculous, actually. New pictures of some of the New Jersey drone taken from a 300 millimeter camera posted to Facebook. Says they were taken with a 300 millimeter and cropped. The woman who posts these is the executive director of a nonprofit who works with adults. Okay, what do you see here? I see blurry images. This is what people are posting, and it's out of control. And I want to post. I'm actually going to post this right now as we're live. This was sent to me by Ryan, and this was over Milwaukee. And this was today. I'm going to publish this right now. We're going to show it to you. And okay, when that uploads, I'll get that video and I will show it to you exactly. Charlie Parrish, guys, this is crazy. He says, another UAP arrived as I tried to watch them retrieve the bodies. Disclosure has arrived. See, it's this kind of stuff that's creating all kinds of bizarre hysteria. Now, I don't know what's going on here, but this is kind of crazy video. You can see, like, look at that. Look at how close they are, and then they separate. No audio on this. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in this video. But I'm going to show you the video that I was sent, because I want people to understand that you have video that is being mistaken. Now, I got this phone call today. It was a frantic phone call from one of our viewers, and I said, send me the video immediately. And this is what he sent me. Okay? And the moment I saw it, I recognized it as Starlink. Okay. So it's things like this that are creating even more hysteria. This is over Milwaukee. One of our viewers sent this to me.
See that shit? What is that? Hey, look. Look. Y'all stupid. Bro, you ain't see them lines in the sky? Bro, I got it on record.
So when Ryan called me and I spoke to him briefly, I said, send me the video right away. We'll publish it tonight. We'll talk about it on the show. And the minute I saw it, I said, this is Starlink. And I said, it's easy to mistake something like this because people aren't used to seeing Starlink configurations or constellations over certain areas. But easily another instance where people automatically think, okay, UFOs or drones or some type of activity. But again, I have to go back to the point where we have these, of course, you got this crazy Chinese drone configuration of the military. But then you have people who are, they're just anything they see, they're reacting to. But I think what Jesse Waters says here is probably most telling.
Sources tell us there's a possibility that these drones are actually very advanced military craft and that the Pentagon's testing these drones over friendly American territory. Drone warfare has become so critical, as we've seen in Ukraine, that the U.S. military needs to test American drone capability in residential and urban areas.
Okay, but they're doing these testing and they're creating mass hysteria and they're not disclosing it to the public. If that's in fact true, all they have to do is say, for Folks, we're going to be testing some drones over your area. Don't be concerned. This is just some military testing. You have nothing to fear. And of course, when you do hear these officials, they all say, yeah, there's no threat to public safety. It's probably because they're being told in one ear by the Pentagon exactly what's happening, right? So the activity over New Jersey isn't just a series of sightings. Could be a direct challenge to our national security, though. When objects can outmaneuver our most advanced military aircraft with impunity, we could be facing something far beyond conventional technology. Maybe these are UAPs, like we saw in that Ring doorbell, okay? But maybe there's just mistakes, and maybe there's other drone incursions, and maybe there's some, of course, we saw helicopters or just actual airliners. It's hysteria, and it is getting out of control. So sound off in the comments what you think. Are we witnessing classified military tests, foreign surveillance, UAPs, or just mass hysteria gone awry? And Patriots, while mysterious forces may be dominating our skies, make your stand with our new Mag Avengers collection at the Next News merch shop. Our limited edition series is designed for those who demand answers. Designs are already causing a stir in certain three-letter agencies, so head over to shop.nextnewsnetwork.com now, link below, before they try to ground this collection. All right. Thank you. I want to say thank you to the viewer who tipped me off in the beginning of this segment about the Chinese drone swarm. And as soon as I saw that in the comments, I immediately searched it up and got the video. So, it's another example of how you guys can work with me during these segments, because I do monitor the chat. I'm monitoring the chat. I'm reading the comments. I'm, deconstructing these narratives to bring you the information as best I can. But it's a collective effort. So I want to thank whoever that was in the chat who brought up that Chinese drone swarm, because it did add some more context to this story. Okay, let's check in. Yes, Granola Grin. Drones walk among you. Don't let them fly above you. $2. Thank you for that. We are at $90. Thank you, guys. Are we gonna hit? Can we hit 100 tonight? Are we gonna hit 100? Who's gonna be our $10 donor, our $10 super chatter? Who's going to make me say something? Because I gotta say whatever you guys put in there. That's the rule. All right, and then I can tell Angie we made $100 tonight in the super chat. Okay, super chat wars begin. Oh boy. All right. The collective, you will be assimilated. Okay. Hit the thumbs up, folks. Where are we at? Who's going to drop that $10 super chat? I'm waiting. I am waiting. Overeducate. I become more and more of a fan of this channel by the day. Thank you. I did see somebody in the comments, I think it was you, who said, this channel has really taken off when Gary took his suit off. I really liked that comment. And then someone said, Gary can't afford his suits anymore. That's funny. That's so funny. It's soon becoming my top 10. Okay. All right. Well, I hope we can get into that top 10 of your category. Can we please put $200,000 in tax money pays how Rosie got her? Ew. Great show tonight. Lots of good chats. Give it up, brother. Hey, Nancy Lake. Nancy Lake. What up, Nancy? Pair character flying. Let's give Nancy a round of applause. Oh, and Angel Lawrence dropping $10. Wow, it's hitting. They're all hitting at the same time. Nancy Lake and Angel. Round of applause. Everyone. Round of applause. They got to do the clapping emoji, guys. Clapping emoji for everybody. Gary has the Neuralink. No, I don't. I don't. I have this is my earbud for my so I can hear the clips. All right. All the ladies putting it down on the table. End Times ET. Round of applause. Round of applause. Dropping $10. All right. So Nancy dropping the pair. Angel Lawrence dropping 10. Thank you, Angel. End Times ET dropping $10 as well. And then Craig says, I was drinking. Thank you, Craig, for your $10. Wow, that was $40 quite quickly. Maybe we'll hit how do you do 10? I can only pull up anything 99 cents. I'm not sure. You should be able to move the cursor. We're at 130. Can we hit 150? Is that asking too much? I do like going to tell Angie. I really do. It is one of the joys after this show when I can go and tell Angie how much everyone gave tonight. 53 new members. 53 new members. How Mr. Ringman, ladies dropping their divorce settlements. Come on, ladies. Jesse Bumstead, $5. Thank you. Return gun rights to felons does not be infringed means just that. Jesse, with a statement that they want everyone to be heard. Thank you, Jesse, for that. We're at 135. 135. Let's go. Let's hit 150. Do I take Cole's cash? Oh my goodness. Imagination doctor? Really? Cole's cash? That's so funny, man. Cole's cash. Oh man. That's hilarious. Okay. Your voice carries many behind it, slim plastic. Yes, Jesse, thank you. What's up, Tyson? Okay. Cole's cash. We're at 135. Come on, let's hit 150. Do I hear 150? So we need to hit another, $15? And we're there. Working out my thumb. If I had extra time, you'd be $10 richer. Well, that's so funny. Okay. While you guys are trying to find the coins in the cushion to hit, so we can hit $1.50 tonight, I am going to take a look at what is happening right now. Elon Musk posted this 17 minutes ago. He said, demented nightmare fuel. Now, if you don't know, Grok AI image generator has just rolled out a new update. And some of the images coming out of Grok right now are freaking weird and scary. And I have a feeling this might be one of them. And it says, make a funny Pepe meme about making Pepe memes. And that's what it described. Yeah, that's creepy. Even Tesla Optimus is making Pepe memes on Grok. Really? Is that really happening? Okay, and we have more information. Did our thread drop? Did our connection drop? Let's see. It's not. The scroll isn't. Is it scrolling? Oh, there it is. Okay. I mean, I think it's my computer that's just lagging. Alice Cersei! Alice! Lost network connection. Reconnecting. Are we back? Something weird just happened. I think the drone swarm just came over our house. Alice Cersei dropping $19.99. Alice, thank you. And then End Times ET following up with a $15 right there. Take me to your leader. All right, we're at 180. Holy cow. Oh, Deborah Myers is now a commander. Wow. The new commander level member. I don't think we saw any Sentinels, did we, Brian? Sentinels the top tier. That's like the super elite. Eva Williamson dropping another $10. Wow, we're at 180. I think we're almost at. We might as well just try to hit 200. I think we should. Okay, $20 is all we need. We're there. Ides of March. Gary, ask and you shall receive. And Mr. Riddingman, so many divorcees. Geneva Wilkerson. Are you serious? No way. No way. This is funny. Geneva, what she wrote. So the 10th super chat. This is Geneva's 10th super chat. And she says, more Kohl's cash. Deborah Myers, welcome to the club. Geneva Wilkerson, more Kohl's cash. Oh man, I remember every Christmas, my mother, God rest her soul, and my grandmother, God rest her soul, they would go to Kohl's together and they would spend all of their Kohl's cash. It was like their favorite thing to do. They would collect it like as much as they could throughout the year or whenever they start giving it out or however it happened. And it was all about the Kohl's cash. Oh man, I miss those two so much. We're at 190. Let's hit 10 more. Let's hit 10 more. Look at this guy on the screen here. Goodness. Okay. Elon Musk 3 hours ago. Like a true Italian, his fatal error was giving himself away, stepping to flirt with the cashier. We covered that. Linda! What's up, Linda? Thank you. Okay, we have just hit $200. Wow, I feel like I'm an auctioneer sometimes. So cool. But $200 in chat revenue, and I will report to Angie. This is Linda's first super chat, everybody. Let's give her a big round of applause. Yeah. Thank you, Linda. What's up? Okay. Mr. Ringman, he loves those divorcees. Okay. Jordan Williams, 20s, fatally kills homeless man in effort to stop him from killing innocent civilians. Daniel Perry, fatally kills homeless man in effort to stop him from killing innocent civilians. Okay, here is Luigi Mangione, charged in the murder. Has now been charged in the murder 5 minutes ago, according to Gateway Pundit. Charged in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Yep, and he's already got his prison issue clothing. Wow. What a moron. Libs of TikTok, Taylor Loren, 6 minutes ago. I felt joy when the CEO was killed. Taylor, 10 seconds later. I never said I felt joy. Then she refuses to apologize and desperately tries covering for herself on Piers Morgan. What a shame. Simply without a soul. Over 310 Israeli airstrikes on Syria since Assad's fall. They are definitely taking advantage of the power vacuum and taking the high ground in Syria. Keep a close eye on that. Governor Phil Murphy signs law prohibiting book bans, making New Jersey the latest state to do so. Okay, sure. Israeli tanks advance towards outskirts of southern Damascus countryside. Oh boy, it's only getting worse over there. And you know what? They're making a massive mess for Trump to clean up when he gets into office. That's what this is all about. I mean, think about it, right? Russia pulls out of Syria. Mr. Writing Man. Am I saying something wrong? Oh, yeah, Mr. Writing Man. Okay. Canadian $2. Thank you. Wait a second. What? $50? Are you kidding me? From Michael Jordan? Wow. Holy cow, what? Oh, man, you didn't have to do that. Keep up the great work. You are appreciated. Lost everything we owned during Helene. Keep praying for us in Western North Carolina. Wow. You lost everything you own and you're giving me $50? Man. God bless you, man. Everyone say a prayer for Michael Jordan and his family, okay? Need to do that. Need to do that for all of them. Don't forget what happened out there. Totally lost my train of thought. Totally lost my train of thought on that. Oh, I think I was about to say that they're creating such a mess. They're creating such a mess for Trump to unwind before he gets into office. And Russia leaves Syria, right? It was like the only thing that was keeping Assad in power. And then what happens? Assad falls. This new leader shows up, and he's worse than anything you could ever imagine. And now you've got this terrorist state, and Israel is just taking advantage of the situation because of the power vacuum. Because there's no one there to man the guns in Syria anymore. It's just going to get even crazier. Yeah, they want scorched earth. If you drop your chain, it'll be like the drop of the bomb. My chain? My chain? This chain? This chain here? Let's see. What else is going on? Use Grok on the web to get 4 different versions of your AI image. Yes, that's something new that Grok is doing. Giving 4 AI images. But I'm not a big fan of some of the stuff that's putting out right now. It's kind of strange. BLM, buy large mansions. 11 minutes ago, Patrick Byrne. Wow. It's been 7 years since BLM was formed. They raised over $1 billion. They haven't had one neighborhood cleanup, sent one poor black child to college, bought school supplies, fed the hungry, donated to a food bank, or provided housing. Look at this. This is early this morning. Fighter jets launching massive airstrikes targeting warehouses containing weapons for the Syrian military near Damascus. Remember what it says in the Bible? It says that one day Damascus will be a ruinous heap, I believe is what the Bible says. We could be heading towards that prophecy fulfillment very soon. Yeah, if you don't know, look it up, because that is what we could be seeing. Mr. Writing Man. He's like, okay, Franchi, you got my name right. Thank you. Here's 10 Canadian dollars. 10 Canadian, eh? All right, man. I appreciate it. What's up with all this? What is up with all this BLM stuff being posted right now? On an anonymous platform, anonymous UPenn platform, 7 of our students like to post saying they felt school pride for the first time. Oh my! That's crazy. School pride. Listen, I hate the insurance companies as much as the next person does, but that's not the right way to handle a situation, okay? Okay, what is going on here? Starship Booster 14 static fire test space starbase orbital pad A. You gotta love Elon Musk, man. The guy is a freaking genius. What? I'm highly confident we can send several uncrewed starships to Mars in 2 years. If those starships don't increment the crater count on Mars, then crewed ships can be sent in 4 years. My goodness. We're going to see this in our lifetime? Community notes for the win again. 3 hours ago. Good way to stop BLM hoaxes from taking off. Jordan Neely doesn't seem like someone who deserves public sympathy. What? Tiffany Caban. Jordan Neely deserved better than the violence, being denied access to stable housing and health care and then dehumanized for it. Neely deserved better than the systems allow for it and justify extrajudicial white supremacist violence against black people. As part of a plea agreement with prosecutors after he punched a 67-year-old woman in the street in 2021, Neely was given free access to stable housing and health care at a treatment facility in the Bronx. He abandoned the facility after 13 days. Damn! Community notes for the win, for sure. Oh, boy. Okay. Wow, we hit $260? My goodness, you guys are amazing. Trump turns photo of smiling First Lady Jill Biden into a perfume sales pitch. Did you guys see that? This picture was gold, man. This picture was floating around, and you just see her face. I mean, look, I showed my wife. I'm like, look at her face. I posted on my Facebook. I'm like, look at her face. I mean, she is glowing. Ashley Biden behind her is glowing. Oh, look at me. What's that meme? I wish somebody would look at me like Jill Biden looks at President Trump, right? That's the meme. 18 minutes ago, Reuters posting this. Okay. I mean, we covered this 18 minutes ago. You're finally covering this, Reuters? Authorities arrested Luigi Mangione, the man suspected of killing United Health executive Brian Thompson in a brazen shooting outside Manhattan Hotel last week. Reuters. Wow, you guys are behind schedule. All right. Surging billions to the nonprofit industrial complex hasn't helped. Oh, boy. Next level trolling 1 hour ago. What is this? It was a pleasure to have dinner. This is Trump's Truth Social. It was a pleasure to have dinner the other night with Governor Justin Trudeau, the great state of Canada. I look forward to seeing the governor again. What? Oh, my. Okay. I see what he did there. Oh, man, he is trolling. It was a pleasure to have dinner the other night with Governor Justin Trudeau of the great state of Canada. I didn't even catch it at first. I look forward to seeing the governor again soon so that we may continue in-depth talks on tariffs and trade, the results of which will be truly spectacular for all. Oh, dude. Dude, that is next level trolling. And Mr. Riding Man, how do you feel about being in our 51st state? Oh, dude, look at this picture of Trudeau. Are you ready? You ready? Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Look at the feet. Look at the feet. Look at the feet. Ah! I mean, look at the posture. You got Trump, just sitting, his knees out. And you got Trudeau sitting like a proper woman. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. I don't know. I mean, I know the feet are photoshopped. But I mean, there have been worse pictures of Trudeau. Insurrection Barbie 21 minutes ago. Sam Bankman-Fried defrauded investors of $10 billion, got 25 years in prison, and he donated very heavily to Democrats. Enrique Torres burned a BLM flag, wasn't even at the Capitol on January 6th, got sentenced to 22 years in prison. Unbelievable. Adam Lowitz has now put up his Christmas tree. 'Tis the season of joy. Oh, no. Oh, no. Who did that? Man, the memes are on fire. Okay. Luigi Mangione was not a fan of Jordan Peterson, apparently, either. Okay. All right, folks, I got work to do. I love you guys, but we do have to call this night. So, Patriot, what an absolutely explosive edition of the Raw Feed. The stories we've covered will be reverberating through the halls of power for weeks to come. Trump's masterful dismantling of NBC and Kristen Welker shows exactly why the mainstream media is terrified of his return. Just 42 days until his historic inauguration, and already the globalist machine is crumbling. The capture of Luigi Mangione isn't just a crime story. It's exposed the radical transformation of America's elite institutions. When Ivy League graduates turn to political violence, you know the system is broken. And speaking of broken systems, Zachary Young's landmark victory against CNN, well, it's just getting started, but it proves what we've been saying for years. The mainstream media's empire of lies is finally facing judgment. A $1 billion punitive is on the table. Meanwhile, Washington's power structure is being rebuilt before our eyes. Senator Joni Ernst's support for Pete Hegseth signals a massive shift. With Kash Patel headed to the FBI and Trump's team taking shape, the deep state is in full panic mode, and they should be, because this time there's no stopping what is coming. But perhaps most chilling is what's happening in the skies above New Jersey. What are they, folks? Drones? Or military helicopters? I mean, even when military helicopters can't intercept them, and they go dark at will, we could be dealing with something far beyond conventional technology. The Pentagon's silence speaks volumes. And Patriots, none of this coverage would be possible without your support. While the mainstream media pushes their propaganda, we're out here fighting for truth. So if you believe in our mission, please consider donating through the links in the description. Every contribution helps keep this truth machine running smoothly. And speaking of support, our channel membership program is growing stronger. Yes, 54 new members since this stream began. So you can join at the Operative, Commander, or Sentinel tier to unlock exclusive perks and special recognition in the chat. Look at you guys with your green and your icons. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's all beginning. Your membership helps us expand our coverage and fight back against big tech censorship. And don't forget to visit our merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Our new collections are making waves. Yes, the MAGAvenger collection. Yes, we are giving Patriots the gear they need to make a statement. So to everyone who sent in your super chats, your Rumble rants, we see you and we hear you and we appreciate you. Your messages and support keep the movement going. And to our new viewers joining us across YouTube, Rumble, and X, welcome to the Real News Revolution. Remember, share the stream with everyone you trust. Text them the link, bypass the algorithms, and help us spread the truth they don't want you to hear. The mainstream media is dying because patriots like you are choosing real news over their propaganda. So thank you for joining us on the Raw Feed. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay informed, and keep fighting for the truth. Good night, Patriots.